Okay, so can you hear me clearly? I need a response in the chat if you can hear me clearly. I need a response in the chat if you can hear me clearly. A good evening, a good afternoon, a good morning, depending on where you are joining us from. I am Esther Gedab-Brima. I'm a senior data associate here at Analytics. And before we proceed, a good evening to you. A good evening, David. Right, nice to hear your voice. That's interesting. All right, so I need a response in the chat. How are we this evening? Right, I like a very, very interactive session. How was our day? Was like our weekend awesome? Are we excited about this masterclass? Are we ready to learn? Because trust me, you're going to be learning a whole lot this evening. All right, so I need more responses. I need more response. I can see Ohai, I can see Owolabi, I can see. Okay, so just give me a moment. Okay, so just give me a moment. Just give me a moment. But I need more responses in the chat. I need more responses in the chat. How are we doing today? How are we doing today? Are we, and before we proceed also, I want to know where exactly are you joining us from, right? Are you in Nigeria? Are you in the UK? Are you in Ghana? Are you in Kenya? Because we say it all the time. That's like the amazing thing of you being in a training session. All right, you get to interact, you get to discuss, you get to learn from people, right, from different backgrounds. So just give me, I believe you can see my screen clearly now. Okay, so I believe you can see my screen clearly. We're good to go. So I can see Akure, Nigeria. I can see Gaga from Badagry. That's interesting. I can see Elora joining from the UK. That's nice. That's nice. I can see Kenya. I think Nigeria is having it this evening, and I'm very happy that we're enjoying ourselves today. So now we still have like a lot more persons that will be joining us this evening. All right, while we are waiting for them, so they don't miss out a lot, there's this misconception about Python being too complex, Python being too overwhelming, and people run away from it a lot. All right, so today you're going to be having a very interesting session with one of our amazing professionals, the co-founder of 10 Analytics. We have Efemina Ikpo on the call. So hi, Efemina, how are you doing?
Very well, thank you. I'm very well, thank you. I'm excited to be here anyways, definitely as well.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, so I can still see our responses in the chat. A good evening to you. And before we proceed also, I need a 1 in the chat if you are joining us for the first time. If this is your first 10 Analytics Masterclass session that you'll be attending, right? I need to know if have you attended any of our sessions before, or this is the very first time, right, that you're attending a session. So most of the things, so nobody's from Ilorin, unfortunately, right? We have like a lot of Tush people on the call. Nice. I can see a response to this. It's my first time. It's my first time. That's nice. And I want you to prepare yourself to learn, right? Because I said all the time, there's this there's an approach to things, right? If you have an open mind and you are ready to learn, trust me, you would learn a lot. So if you are joining us for the first time, welcome, welcome. We are going to be having a practical session with Python, right? The Python that you think is a snake that will come and bite you. We're having a session today where you will know, oh, what exactly do we do with Python? And yes, if you stay to the end of the call, you would have the recording, the slides, and all other resources that will be used in today's session. So welcome, everyone. Now, moving forward, who we are at 10 Analytics. If you are joining us for the first time, our goal, the main purpose, the sole reason why we are here at 10 Analytics is to ensure that you acquire tech-driven skills, data-driven skills. Why? Because there's a large gap, there's a large disparity between Africans, between the Black people and the general tech community. So now it is necessary, right? That's our goal, to ensure that you acquire these skills. And we do so by a variety of programs such as data analytics, business analysis, data engineering, data science, financial analytics, and the HR analytics program. All right, so let's sit back and enjoy. Now, I believe if you've not attended any of our masterclasses before, you have not met these two amazing professionals. This is Adeza Suleiman, the founder of 10 Analytics, and we have Efemina Ikpo on the call today. Trust me, you're going to enjoy today's session a lot, right? These are professionals. They have close to a decade experience in their field, and you'll be learning firsthand from them. So as I mentioned before, sit back and enjoy the session. All right. I know we have a lot of questions coming in. Just calm down. It's a process. I know you're hot, right? You want to get into Python and do the real thing, but just calm down. Okay, so what we are going to be doing today, first thing, this Python that you've been hearing about, that they say to come and bite you in your dream. All right, you're having a practical session, right? So you know how easy this is. So you know how to utilize this programming language. Then the pathway to becoming a full stack data scientist, right? So I can see a message in the chat, the difference between data scientist and a data analyst. Trust me, just calm down. You'll get an overview and an understanding of the major differences, because that's a question that's always recurring. Now, moving forward, we have a special offer for you. And then the important part, our analytics internship program, because we say all the time, yes, you know this skills, but you need to show, you need to have proof that, oh, I have actually deployed all these skills in solving problems and in delving into challenges, right? That's the relevance, that's the importance of this growth internship program. All right. So at this junction, we'll be jumping right in. And as I mentioned before, we have the co-founder of TED Analytics on the call. So trust me, you guys are going to learn a lot today. You're going to enjoy, and I believe that we are ready to learn. Okay, so hi, Efemina.
Hi, Brahma. Thanks a lot for that wonderful, wonderful presentation, introduction. Absolutely excited to be here. And we're going to be doing something very interesting, like Brahma has rightly said. So, just sit back, relax, and you're going to be having a great time today. All right, so just give me, I'm going to go ahead to share my screen and we can get started. Okay. Right. Okay, so Brian, I know we're still expecting quite a number of people, so please, the session is recorded. Please just take out time to just listen. All I want you to do is listen. Just sit back and listen. That's all you need to do today. You don't need to stress yourself. You get the recording, and I'll walk you through all the things you need to do, all the things you need to learn. All right. So let me just get myself ready with all the, because I'm going to be using the charts a lot. So I want to bring out the charts so I can see your messages while you guys are typing. Okay. Okay. All right. So I usually like to start with my introduction, my introduction with, where I'm coming from. Okay. And now I landed where I am at the moment, because most people, like Brahma said, they usually think that, getting started in data science it's requires, it requires 7 galaxies with so many more, so many more things. Do you understand? So getting that started in data science is one of the greatest things that, helps me transition in my career. Okay. So, currently I work as a data science contractor for firms in the UK and also in the US. So I do a bit of freelancing for firms in the UK and also in the US. All right. Prior to that, I've worked as a business data support lead with the post office in the UK, and I worked with Teleflex as a global business systems analyst. I've worked as a data engineer, data scientist, and my experience spans different sectors. Okay. Now, the key question that I usually tell most people, or the key thing I tell most people, is very simple. I did not study this in school. Zero. Nobody taught me this thing. All right. No, I never learned it in a school, or I literally had to learn this in order for me to transition. So I had a degree in economics. Okay. So my first degree, university, 4 years, bachelor's degree was in economics. All right. Got a job as a management consultant, nothing that was tech related. So all the Python you're going to be learning today, all the things I'm going to be talking about today, I had to learn them myself. Okay. So, well, one thing that Prima said is, if you have the interest in it, all right, and you have good coaches, not just you going anywhere, you running out of skelter to look for where you can learn this. If you can get a good place that can actually hold your hands and guide you through the process, you're honestly home already. You're at home and you will get it done. And that's the reason why we started analytics, to help more people looking to transition into data science. How do you want to get into data science? All right, or literally hold your hands and guide you through the whole process. So basically that's it. Okay, I did economics and I was able to find myself, working for multinational organizations across the world, leveraging the skills that I learned. Okay, that I'm going to be talking to you about today. All right. So that's exactly, I just wanted to bring that. So you don't need any background in computer science. You don't need any I don't have any certification. Okay. So you don't need any certification. You don't need any particular degree to get started. You don't need anything to get started. And that's the reason why I like to start with that. All right. Now, what are we going to be doing? Grandma has given an either of all the things we're going to be doing today. All right. Number one, live Python coding exercise using Google Colab. All right. So you guys, some of these things might be sounding new to you. All right. But don't worry, that's why you're here. That's literally why you're here. All right. And today is Friday. Okay. So you've had a long week. I'm not going to keep you too long on the call. And that's why I'm telling you, just wait, just listen. All right. And you understand. Trust me. All right. The second thing we're going to be discussing is pathway to becoming a data scientist and securing a job. Now, the thing why you're here today to learn data science is not because of just interest. It's not because you just want to add it to your skill set. All right. You're looking to how you can add it to your skill set and use it to get a better job or get a remote job or get some kind of, advanced degree or something. How do you use data science? How do you use this data science to get the things you're looking for? We're going to be exploring that. All right. Remote full-time opportunity and tech relocation opportunity also will be discussed during the session. Okay. And last one, the two last things we're going to be talking about is the internship program and a special offer we have for you. So if you wait to the end of the session, you will get the recording of the session, you will get the materials from the session, and lastly, you'll get to hear about the special offer we have for you. So I'll endeavor you to stay to the end of the session. Now, let's move on to the first thing on the list. Live Python coding exercise using Google Colab. Now, how many of us have when you hear Python programming, when you hear Python, what comes to your mind? Is it difficult to learn? Is it easy to learn? And let's use the chat. So, when you started learning Python, I know some people would have learned Python times and times again. They always go back to the beginning to start learning all over again. So, from your own experience, what is your take on learning Python? Let me hear from you. Oh, my volume is low. Okay, sorry. Just give me a second. Let me see what I'm doing. Right, Brahima, what about now? Is it better? Brahima, are you there?
All right, yes, I believe
Is
it's
it
better.
is a bit better or is better?
Okay, so I believe it's better. Yes, it is.
Can you guys hear me well now? Sorry. All right. So please, if you can hear me perfectly, if I'm loud and audible, please let me know in the chat. Yes, if my audio is okay.
Loud
Okay, we can loud and clear. Fantastic. Okay. All right. Thank you
and
very
clear.
much.
It's loud and clear now.
Loud and clear now. Fantastic. Thank you very much, guys. Thank you very much.
Very
Loud and
loud. It has been loud.
it has been loud. So I don't know where everybody's. All right. Anyways, I'm loud now.
We
I was
can
loud
hear
before.
you.
All right. Thank you. Thank you. So let's jump into it. Okay. All right. Now moving on to the main section. Okay. So we're going to be working with, what we call Google Colab. Google Colab. And let me just see what people are saying about their experience with Python. Okay. So people say coding, lots of brain work when I hear Python. Okay. No experience with using Python. Some people are saying no experience. It is difficult. Python is complicated, and all this. Okay. So there are quite a number of things people are saying. Okay. I tried learning, but discovered that the platform you learn determines how much exactly. Mercy is saying something very, very, very sacrosanct. So she's saying, I tried learning, but discovered the platform you learn from determines how much you can easily understand. And that's what we're going to be exploring today. We're going to be just testing Mercy's hypothesis today. So we're going to be working with Google Colab, okay? Google Colab. Don't worry, I will explain everything to you. Every single thing you need today, I will teach you. I will tell you everything. All right. So give me a second. Let me get my pen so I can write on the screen easily and delete. All right. So So we're going to be doing Python programming, Python coding, all right? And we're going to be using Google Colab, okay? Google Colab. So you guys will be learning something new today, all right? So now, all I would say is you go to use, I'm going to be using any browser, use any browser of your choice. So currently I'm using Google Chrome, but you could use literally any browser. You could use your Safari or your MacBook. You could use any browser, literally any browser. You're using Mozilla, you're using Internet Explorer, it doesn't matter. Just open any browser, okay? Open any browser and go to the search, okay? The search box and type in Google Colab, okay? Colab, like to collaborate, okay? So it's Colab, Google Colab, okay? That's what you need to do. I'm walking you through the steps of what you need to do. But like I said, yeah, in the materials, I have a video that I've created, So I created a video on how you could actually access it. So once you get to material, all you need to do is click here. You'll see here where it said click here. All right. You'll see, click here. Once you click on this, once you get the material and you click here, all right, it's going to take you to a YouTube video that I created, all right, that I created for you to show you how to create your Google account, your Google Lab. So once you get the material, you'll see you have a very sound understanding of how to create your Google Lab account. It's free of charge, you're not paying anything for it, right? Absolutely free. Okay? But I'll still walk you through it anyways. I'm still going to walk you through it during the call. Okay? But once you get the material, you also have another material that would help you. Okay? Show you how to get Google Colab. Okay? Now, once you go on your browser, okay, and you type in Google Colab, okay? All right. You see the first thing comes up. That's the first thing that usually comes up. Okay. Google Colab. That's what we're looking for. All right. So all you need to do is click on it. Okay. And it's going to take you to this page. Now, this particular Google Colab only needs one thing. You don't need any subscription. You don't need to download anything, nothing. You don't need anything. The only thing you need is a Gmail account. And we all know that to get a Gmail account, you don't need anything to get a Gmail account. You can literally just open one. Like you can open as many as you want. You understand? All right. So even though you don't have a Gmail account, you can easily just create one. All right, and use it to sign in. So whenever you go on Google Colab, you're always required to sign in. All right. So once you sign in with Google with your Gmail, then you have access to it. All right. That's all you need. So once it pops up, for you to sign in, just use your Gmail account and you would have a full access to Google Colab. So the only thing you need is a Gmail account. That's all. Now, there are two ways you can go about the session, okay? And I would really want you to take the second one, okay? The first one is you're working alongside with me, okay? So if you think you're fast enough to learn, okay? Because we just have about 1 hour, 2 hours to be on the call, all right? So if you can work alongside with me, all right, that's fine, okay? But the second one is what I would prefer you to do, which is sit back, just sit back and watch me and just listen. You will get the recording, you will get all the materials, you will get everything, okay, from the call in order for you to practice, okay? So I would like you to do the second one, which is sit back and just listen. That's all I want you to do, all right? You sit back, you are the VIP. I am going to be demonstrating for you. All right. All I want you to do is sit back and listen. That's all I want you to do. All right. So I'm going to walk you through the steps. You'll get the material and you can practice at your own pace. Okay. All right. So once you click on Google Colab and you sign in, okay, you'll see new notebook. All right. New notebook. And I'm going to click on new notebook. I'm going to explain so many things in the next few seconds, okay? Once this opens up, okay, I'm going to do a lot of explanation. All right, so this is a notebook. This is where I'm going to be writing the Python code, okay? This is where I'm going to be writing my Python code, all right? So the first thing I'm going to do, you see I have here is the name of the file. Currently, this is the name of the file. And if I click there, you see there's a notification that comes up, all right? Rename notebook. So I want to change the name, all right? Currently, it is Untitled 20. Untitled 20 is the name. So I'll change it, obviously. I'll change it to October Masterclass all right, 2023. Okay? October Masterclass 2023. That's what I'll write in there. That's the name of the file. That's what I have renamed the file. That's the first thing I did. I renamed the file. Simple as short. All right? Now, let me explain. A lot of people will be wondering, what is Google Colab? All right? A lot of people will be wondering, what is Google Colab? I'm sure you guys will be wondering, what is Google Colab again? All right? What is Google Colab? That's a key question. What am I, why do I need to learn this? Why do I need to use this? Do you understand? All right, I'll explain it to you. Google Colab, okay? All right, so Google Colab is what we call, is referred to as an IDE. IDE stands for integrated. I'm going to use English to choose all of you. Integrated development environment. See, data science has a lot of lingos, but they are very simple to understand. I'll explain it to you. Now, Google Colab is referred to as an IDE. IDE. It's an acronym. Okay, IDE is an acronym that stands for, all right? Sorry, please, guys. Damilola, Brahima, can you guys hear me well? I don't know why people are still saying my voice is low. I'm not sure.
Yeah, we can, but it goes off, like it goes really low for a while.
Okay, give me a second. Let me see. Is it just me? Is it just you or some other people? Everybody. Some people can say they can hear me well. Some people are saying they can't hear me well. So I'm not sure what the situation is now. Can you hear me now very well, Brahima?
Yes, 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 we can hear you clearly now.
Loud and clear, or just
Yes,
the same way?
loud and clear.
Okay, all right. All right. So what is Google Colab? Google Colab is referred to as an IDE. Okay, an IDE. Please, Brahima, if it goes down and goes up, please just send me a message. Okay, all right. So Google Colab is referred to as an IDE. IDE is referred to, is an acronym that stands for Integrated Development Environment. Now, everybody that hears that for the first time will likely be, a bit agitated that this is too much English for me. What do I need to cram, all these big, big words, integrated development environment? So let me explain it to you if you're listening to this for the first time, or if you're hearing this for the first time. Now, take for example, you want to write your project in school. Okay, you want to write a thesis, you want to write a project, you want to write your dissertation in school. What application would you run to write your dissertation? Would you write your dissertation in Microsoft Excel? Would you write your dissertation in Microsoft PowerPoint? Or would you open up, what else? Which app would you open up? What do you call it? Corel Draw, okay, to write your dissertation? Would you go to Photoshop to write your dissertation? Absolutely not. What would you do? You go to Microsoft Word to write your dissertation. All right. If you want to create a PowerPoint presentation, you want to create a slide presentation, you want to create a presentation, all right, that will be moving from one slide to the next slide. Would you go to Excel to create a PowerPoint, a slide presentation? Would you go to Corel Draw to create a slide presentation? No, you go to PowerPoint, okay, to create that slide presentation. Now, take for example, you also want to do some calculations you want to do some spreadsheet calculations. Would you go to Microsoft Word to create spreadsheet application? You wouldn't. Would you go to PowerPoint? Would you go to Corel Draw? All right. You would rather go to Excel to do, spreadsheet calculation, Microsoft Excel calculations. That's what I mean by spreadsheets. Okay. All right. So you see, Microsoft Word is an environment that allows you to write all those kind of documentation, all those kind of projects and all those kind of, anything that has to do with, projects, theme, there's a way typing and writing and all that. All right. While PowerPoint is another environment that allows you to do what? To make slides presentation. All right. Now, Excel, another environment that allows you to do spreadsheet calculation. All right. Corel Draw, another environment that allows you to edit pictures, edit pictures, edit videos, so on and so forth. All right. The same thing with Photoshop environment that allows you to edit pictures, edit videos, and so on and so forth. So you see, every application or everything you want to do has an environment that allows you to perform that particular, that particular activity. So you want to make slides, you go to PowerPoint to create your slide. You want to, you want to make your project, your thesis. What will you go to? You go to Microsoft Word to create your thesis, to create your project, and so on and so forth. So the same thing. So if you want to, can you imagine that? All right, taking a formula in Excel. If you take that formula in Excel and you carry it to Microsoft Word, do you think Microsoft Word will understand that formula? Okay. Do you think Microsoft Word will understand the formula you wrote in Excel? It's impossible. All right. Even when we even look at it ourselves, just imagine integrated development environment like our own individual environment. If you take a Yoruba man, okay, or a Nigerian that speaks an indigenous language in Nigeria, all right, and you take that person to China, and the person starts to speak Igbo in China, nobody will understand what they are saying, okay? The same thing, they take the Chinese man to another environment in Kenya, for example, nobody understands, Mandarin, nobody understands Chinese, do you understand? So you don't understand, all right? So every environment is designed in a way for you to, carry out certain activity. Okay. So you see Google Colab. Google Colab is that environment that allows you to write Python code. The environment will understand the Python code that you're writing and it will give you a result. All right. So if you write a formula in Excel, okay, 2 times 2, and you take it to Microsoft Word does not understand that calculation. There's no output that will give to you. There's no output that will be returned. So you see that integrated development environment. So Google Colab is an environment that allows you to write Python code. Simple. The environment will understand that Python code that you've written. It's as simple as short what integrated development environment stands for. All right. So if you see the word IDE, it stands for Integrated Development Environment, which indicates an environment that allows you to write Python code. That's what it means. All right. And the environment will understand what what Python code you've written. So that's basically what Google Colab stands for. Okay. All right. So you'll notice that I'm always using this hashtag. I'm always using hashtag to start. Hashtag, okay? Well, hashtags, okay, let me put it here. Hashtags, they are regarded as comments. Okay, comments. They're regarded as comments. So comment basically means, if you ever, when you're in secondary school, primary school, you'll see they'll give you one big formula, okay? All right, the y, the x formula, or all those big, large formulas, okay? But you now see inside that same formula, you see one small comment, all right? You'll notice that the comment is just telling you more about the formula. All right. Either you are doing some kind of moving something from the left side to the right side, and from something from the right side to the left side. Or even when you're writing your project, you have footnotes, okay, that explains whatever you've written up. Okay. So if you've used a particular sentence, you've used a very big word, okay, you leave a footnote in your project to tell them, okay, in that part that I said this particular thing, this is what it means. So there's a footnote. All right. So the footnote is not a part of the document. It's not a part of it's a part of it, but it's not, they're sort of separate to one another. All right. So you see, when I use hashtag, it comes in as a comment. It's not a code. It's coming in as it's sort of an explanation. Okay. So if I'm writing my code and I want to explain it to somebody, all right, I don't want the person to be cracking their head. What if he writes? What, and you'll see it today, you'll understand it as we go on. So hashtags are regarded as comments. Okay, so they are not code, they're not coding. Okay, it's just a comment to just tell you more about the code. Okay, so if I'm coding and I want to send it to my boss, okay, that comment will be there to tell the boss exactly my thought process. Okay, so it's just like text, it's just me typing. So it's just a comment. They regard them as comments, okay? But they're just text, okay? They are not codes, they are just text, okay? All right. So that just covers a little bit of introduction, okay? So Google Colab are regarded as what we call IDEs, Integrated Development Environment. An environment that allows you to write Python codes, and the environment understands the Python code, all right? Hashtags are regarded as comments. They are not, this is not coding, okay? So all these things I'm writing, are not code, okay? They're just text, they're just comments, okay? All right, so now the main thing, what we're going to be talking about today, okay? We're going to be talking about data types, okay? Let me see if I can zoom in a bit. Maybe 75 is good enough. Data types. We're going to be talking about data types, or what we regard as data structures, okay? So what would you prefer? Should I call it data types or should I call it data structures? Which one sounds better for you? Let me see. Okay, which one would you prefer? Data types or data structures? Let me see, people. Data types. Okay, interesting. A lot of people like data types. I like structures sometimes, depending on where I'm going to. Okay, data structures, data types. Which one would you prefer? Data structures, data types. Okay, that's fine. That's okay. All right, but you could use them interchangeably, anyways. Okay. All right. Now let's talk about data types. Okay. So for today's class, for the class today, we're going to be talking about 3 data types. We're only going to be exploring 3 data types. The first one is numbers, okay? We're going to look at numbers, okay? All right, and there are 2 types of numbers, okay? And you'll see how easy these things are, okay? There are 2 types of numbers. The first one is an integer, all right? And the second one is what we call a float, okay? Don't worry, I'll explain everything, okay? That's 2, this is already 2 data types, okay? So we're going to be exploring integer, float, all right? Then we're also going to be looking at what we call a text, okay? So text in Python are regarded as, okay, that's C, as what we call strings, okay? Strings, okay? And I would also explore something called conditional statement. If you're from Ibadan or Nigeria, you'll say conditional, okay? Conditional, oh, sorry, conditional. Let me use my British accent, you get me? Okay? Conditional statements. All right. And if we have enough time, we'll go into what we call a function. Okay. We'll go into what we call a function. And I'll explain everything I've talked about today. So we're going to be looking at 3 data structures or data types. Okay. Integer, or what we call float. Okay. And we have a string. Those are the 3 structures, the data types we're going to be looking at today. We're going to be looking at integer, float, and we're also going to be looking at a string. Okay. If we have enough time, we'll look at conditional statement and what we call a function. Sorry, spirit of Amala. Function, okay? We're going to be looking at a function, all right? So we have numbers. So like I said, these are the things we're going to be looking at today, all right? These are the things we're going to be looking at today, okay? So in order for you to run your cell, okay? In order for you to run your cell, to run your code, okay? To run your code, okay? Press, okay? You press what? Shift. I'm going to put it in capital letter. Shift plus enter, okay? You press it together, all right? So I'll put it there for you so you always remember. Press together, okay? As beginners, all right? So, when you finish writing your code, okay, and you want to run the code, you will press shift plus enter together. You don't press it one after the other. You press it together. Shift, enter. Okay? You press it together. All right? So you press shift, then you press enter, and you see it moves to a new line. You see a new code would start. You see an empty cell will be created underneath. Okay? All right? Press shift and enter together. All right? All right, so now let's start with the first. Let's take a look at the first. Let's take a look at the first data type that we're going to be looking at, integer. The first data type, integer. Okay, all right. Integer are what we call they are They are whole numbers. So I'll write it in capital letter so you understand. Whole numbers. All right. So integers in Python, we have different data types. But like I said today, we're going to be looking at just three. Okay. Integer, float, and strings. Now we're exploring the first one. We're exploring the first one. The first one, I said integers and what? They are whole numbers. Whole numbers. Now, a very good example of a whole number is number 10. Okay? Number 10. I'll press Shift and Enter to run that code again. Shift Enter to run the code. Shift plus Enter, and the new cell, you see this. It gives me the value 10. Now, what does it stand for? What does a whole number stand for? A whole number is a number without decimal points. That's what it means. Integer is a whole number without decimal points. So you see it here, I'll put it here for you. So without what? Decimal point. Without decimal points. That's what it means. A whole number without decimal points. So now, there is something in Python, okay? We call the type function, okay? So in order for, I'll see it here. To confirm the data type, okay, all right. To confirm the data type, I would use what we call the type function, type, and I'll put it into brackets, and I'll put 10 inside type. So basically what this is doing for me, okay, all right, the type function will help you confirm the data type of the number 10, okay? So you see 10, okay? I told you 10 is an integer, okay? But let us confirm. We need to confirm that 10 is an actual integer. So I'm going to run it now, okay? And you see 10 truly is an integer. I'm going to zoom out. I think it might be a bit too zoomed in for you guys. All right? Okay? So you see type 10 will give you a result int, int. All right. So integer they are what? They are called whole numbers. They are called whole numbers, basically numbers without decimal points. All right. And to confirm, using the type function, you can confirm and it will give you what? A result called int. Okay. So I could just put it here so that you don't forget int. So that's the short form for integer. All right. So these numbers can either be positive, okay, can be positive or negative. It doesn't matter. It could be positive, it could be negative, as long as there is no decimal point. As long as there is no decimal point, it is called an integer. Okay? So if I come here and I put -10 and I put -10 and I run it, okay, it will still give me integer. If I come here and I put as many zeros, I put in like 1 billion, 1 trillion, 1 gazillion, as long as there is no decimal point, it is still an integer. All right. So integers are numbers, are whole numbers. Whole numbers are basically numbers without decimal point. It's as simple as that. It doesn't get complicated. There is no advanced, there is no intermediate. This is it. Integers are numbers without decimal point. So if it is 1 billion, gazillion, trillion, it is still integer as long as there is no decimal point. All right. So pardon me, let me just take off all these errors, okay? So I don't distract you guys too much, okay? Now, for the second one that we call a float, which is also a type of number, I'm sure you guys will understand. What is a float? So the integer is all numbers without decimal points. What will be a float? Let me ask you guys. Okay, what will be a float, guys? What would the first one is a number, it's numbers without decimal points. So this one will be what? Float to be. Can anybody put it in the chat? Let me see. With decimal numbers, exactly. Okay, they are numbers, all right, with decimal places. All right, numbers with decimal places, and also they can be positive or negative. It doesn't matter as long as it has decimal place. All right, it is. it is a float. So if I put 10.5 here, 10.5, okay, and I run it, it will give me 10.5, okay? And if I check the type, okay, and I put 10.5 inside the type and I run it, you'll see it will give me a float. All right. So decimal point numbers, we all know it as decimal point, but Python regards it as a float. It is called a float. Integers, whole numbers without decimal place. So one thing you should have at the back of your mind, there is no intermediate, there is no advanced in this. This is it. Number, integer, float. That's all you need to know. All right. So that's the two data types. You see, in less than about 5 minutes, we have handled two data types. In just about 5 minutes, we've handled two data types. Now, let's take a look at another data type, which is string, okay? Which is called a string. All right. So strings, okay? String, all right, strings, I'll just put it as they are text. Okay, so if I want to write my name is a text. If a mena, Tenalytics is a text. Tenalytics. If I want to write Josh, I want to write or Larry Waju, I want to write any other name, Brahima. Okay, these words, this text, they are all text, and in Python, texts are regarded as string. Okay, so if I want to write if a mena, okay, all right, I would need to put, quotation mark. Okay, I would need to put quotation marks. All right. So anytime you are introducing a text, you always put your quotation marks. Okay. Anytime you're working with a text, okay, you always put quotation marks. I'm going to try without the quotation mark first, and I'll try it with the quotation mark so you see exactly what happens. So I'm going to try it first without the quotation mark. So if I write if a mena alone, okay, and I run it, you'll see it will give me an error. It will tell me name if a mena is not defined. Okay, so I'm going to wrap it inside the quotation mark. So you see, whenever you're talking and you're always doing your hands like this, in quotes, the guy did not do this in quotes, or my boss did not say this in quotes. All right, he would have said sorry in quotes. Do you understand? Please, that energy, all right, bring it into Python. It will help you a lot. Okay, so anytime you're having that text, okay, anytime you're writing any form of text, all right, put it in quotation mark. Okay, that's it. If you run it, see how you control it. Ooh, so you are going to sing that song a lot because you'll be running so many things. Okay, all right. So you see, if a mena, all right, you have to put it in quote. Anything text, you have to put it in quote. Now let's check the data type for this. Okay, type. Okay, and you put if a mena inside. Okay, all right. And you put if a mena inside, it will give you str, which is the short form for a string, which is the short form for a string. Okay, so you notice that this my comment, it doesn't run. It's just a text. It's just to explain what I am doing. Okay, so when I send this to you now, you understand that this is string, they are text, and this is an example of what I mean by what I'm doing. Okay, so you see, this is just a comment. It's just a comment, just so that when you see the code, all right, you will understand exactly what I am doing. Okay, so you see this, they are all comments. To confirm the data type, this is it. Float are numbers with decimal places, can be positive or negative, and you see 10.5. That's how it's just comment, so that anybody that sees your code, there's something we call readability. So you need to write your code in a way that if another person gets your code, they need to be able to understand what you were doing. And that's what comments does for you. All right. Readability. Somebody else that did not sit down with you while you're coding should be able to see your code and should be able to understand exactly what you were writing. That's exactly what we call readability. And what would you use for readability? Your comments. You need to be able to leave comments when you are writing your code. Okay. And it's also good for documenting, also documenting your thought process and so on and so forth. So we have looked at three data types. Okay. We've looked at three data types: integers, whole numbers without decimal places, floats, decimal places, and strings, which is for text. Okay. So you see, we've looked at three data types already. Now, let's find out a way we can use everything together. Now, let's do something whereby we can use the three variables, the three data types. We can use them, the three of them together, all at once. Okay. All right. So let's do it together. Let's do it. Let's do something interesting. Okay. All right. So let's build a test calculator. Okay, a test calculator. So for let's say total exam, let's say exam. Okay, exam. All right. So in order for you to, let's say for every exam, all right, you should have a first test. Okay. So I will say first test. Okay, first test. Okay. Now before we go into this, let me do something quickly. I'm going to just insert 2 cells here. Before we go into that test calculator, there's something I want to introduce to you. It's called variable assignment. Okay. All right. It's called variable assignment. Now, with variable assignment, are you guys following? Let me confirm, please. If you're following, I want you to drop a 1 in the chat. If you are following, let me see if you are following me. All right. All right, fantastic. I love this. I love the ones I'm seeing here. Honestly, you guys have just given me ginger. Don't worry, I got your back 100%. Honestly speaking, you see, when you see after today, you will know how to, you will be building applications after. All right, all right, all right. So let's talk about variable assignment. Okay, let's talk about variable assignment. So we have learned 3 data types. I'm going to reiterate. I always try to reiterate so you know exactly where we're coming from. We've learned 3 data types: integer, float, and string. Integer, whole number without decimal places. Float, decimal place numbers. Okay, and string are what? Text. 3. Okay. Now we're talking about variable assignment. Now, take for example, let me write here. I'm going to write Nigeria. Okay. All right, I'm going to say Nigeria equals to 1,000. Okay, Nigeria equals to 1,000. Now, if I run this now, I run this. Okay, nothing comes out. Okay, and I type in Nigeria in a new cell, when I run it, you see Nigeria will now give me the number 1,000. Nigeria will now give me the number 1,000. So that's exactly, let me explain it. Let me explain it. Okay. Nigeria equals to 1,000. Nigeria in this context is a variable. This Nigeria that you see here is not Nigeria that we know. All right. It is called a variable. Now, what does the variable stand for? You guys will be wondering, like, what's this variable? Now, let me see. We all know what we call a container. A container. Take for example, ice cream bowl. All right. So if you open an African's fridge, okay, and you see ice cream bowl inside, when you open it, will you find an ice cream inside? Let me see the true Africans in the house. If you open, what would you find inside if you won't? Okay. If you open the ice cream bowl, what would you find inside? Some people are saying pepper, stew, attache, soup, okay, food, jollof rice. You'll find jollof, soup, or more. Stock, you'll find stock, chicken stock, goat stock, any kind of stock meat, you'll find it inside. So you see, that's a container, okay? So meaning that you can use that container to store anything. The container would not discriminate. All right. If you today use that container, that ice cream bowl to store jollof rice, all right, it will accept it. Okay. No problem. Okay. Tomorrow you scoop out the jollof rice and you put okra soup inside. It's not going to discriminate. It's going to store it for you. And anytime you open it, what would you just find there? Whatever you kept inside will be inside. So if you put okra inside and you open it, you'll see okra. If you open it, if you remove it and you put jollof rice the next day and chicken, okay, and you open it, you will see jollof rice and chicken. So whatever you store inside that container, whenever you open it, you will see it there. All right. So that's the whole idea about variable. Okay, that's literally the whole idea about variable. Variable is that ice cream bowl. Okay, all right. Or Danish cookies. Who knows Danish cookies? Let me see the guys that know Danish cookies here in the house. Danish cookies, that's round biscuits box or metallic box. Do you guys, What do you put inside Danish cookies? Let me see. Different households have different ways they put inside Danish cookies. What jewelries? Some people have jewelry, some people have was sewing stuff. Honestly, for me, for our own house, it was sewing stuff, sewing kits. Thread and needle, blade, button, everything they inside that Danish cookie. All right. So if your man said cookies, you know the butty, the guys that are rich in the house, okay? Don't worry, it's all right. Okay. Danish cookies, it could be for anything. You can put first aid inside. Okay. So people will put plaster, iodine inside that Danish cookie. All right. Some people it's sewing material, some people it is, it could be anything. All right. So that's that container. Okay, that's idea of a container. That's what is referred to as a variable. So in Python, they don't call it ice cream bowl. They don't call it Danish cookies. They call it variable. It's a container. So basically, this container here, Nigeria is a container. So I'm going to open a container, which is called Nigeria, and I'm going to put 1,000 inside. I'm saying, I'm a Python. Inside this container, Nigeria, okay? We put 1,000 inside, okay? Anytime I call you, please give me, anytime I call Nigeria, okay, is our code for 1,000, okay? So anytime Python opens it, or anytime this is me trying to open it up, okay? All right, and you see, anytime I open it, I will see 1,000. So I could assign anything to it. Can assign anything inside, it will accept it, like the ice cream bowl. So if I put jollof rice inside, it will accept. If I put a goosey soup, it will accept. If I put jollof rice, it will accept. It doesn't reject. So if I put whole number 100, it will accept. Okay, it will give me 100. If I put 100.67, it will accept. Float, it will accept it. Okay, sorry, it's supposed to be points. All right, 0.67. All right, it will still accept it. Okay, even if I put a string inside, I say put store ephemeral inside. All right, it will accept it. Okay, it's a container. So it's basically variables are what we refer to as container. So open the container and keep it for me. Anytime I need it, I'll call it. And anytime I call it, give me what I stored inside. Just like the ice cream bowl. You put it in your fridge. Anytime you need it, you go there, you open it up, and you see it inside. You understand? All right. So this is what we call a variable assignment. So Nigeria is a variable, while this thing we have here is what we are assigning into the variable. All right. This is what we are assigning into the variable. All right. There are certain rules you need to know about variables. There are small rules you need to understand, and I'm going to tell you what it is. Okay. So rule number one, it is case sensitive. Rule number one, it is case sensitive. All right. No, variable is not like a comment. Variable, don't worry, I would explain better. Don't worry. You see, we'll see the more examples for you to understand. Okay. All right. So you see this, what do you call it? I said the first rule here is variables are case sensitive. Okay. So you see this Nigeria currently, I stored it in small letter. Okay. The Nigeria is in all small letter. All right. So if I come here and I use capital letter N, okay, and I use capital letter N instead of small letter N, and I run it, it's going to give me an error. Okay, so that's what I mean by variable names are case sensitive. All right. So Nigeria is small letter N. All right. But the Nigeria I came to write here, I came to write it in capital letter N. Okay. That's the reason why I get an error. So if I change it to a small letter N and I run it, you see it will give me exactly what I kept inside, which is a femena. All right. So that's the first thing you need to know. Variable names are case sensitive. Okay. So if I change that small letter A to capital letter A, it will give me an error. All right. So you need to understand the first rule is case sensitive. It is variable names are case sensitive. All right. You cannot start with a number. That's another thing. You cannot start with a number. Rules about variables. Number one, case sensitive. Number two, you cannot start with a number. So, Analytics, for example, I cannot use variable name. I can't use Tenalytics as a variable name. You see, it's giving me an error already. And that's because Tenalytics starts with a number. Tenalytics starts with a number. And that's the reason why I cannot start with a number. Do you understand? I can't use Tenalytics as a variable name because it starts with a number. So those are the things you should know. First of all, case sensitive. The second part is you cannot start with a number. Okay? And the last one, no spaces allowed. No space allowed. So I cannot put, first name, for example. I can't say first name, all right? And I put a space. You see, that space that is there is not allowed when you're creating a variable name. Space is not allowed when you are creating a variable name, okay? So that's why you see most people writing their codes like this. First underscore name, all right? First underscore. And you see, you use an underscore to replace space. You use an underscore to replace space. So rather than using first space name, you do what? First underscore name. Okay, so that's the first one. The other way you can do it is through what we call a camel case. Camel case. So you see a camel, it has the arms, one arm and another arm. Okay, so how do you do this? How do you write the camel case? Let me explain it. Last name, capital letter L, small letter last. Okay, name will be capital letter N again. Okay, and I'll use it as what? If you meant an EPRO, IKPRO. Okay, okay, and that's it. Okay, IKPRO. Okay, so you see, this is a camel case. Camel case basically means that the first letter is capitalized. The first letter of each word is capitalized. So last name, last is one word, okay, is capitalized. Name, another word, also capitalized. So it's either you go with the underscore or you go with the camel case. Now, which of these would you prefer? First, would you rather go with using underscore or using the camel case? Which of these would you prefer? Which of these would you prefer? Okay, underscore, okay. All right. Would you rather prefer to use an underscore or a camel case? Okay, it's your preference. It's your own preference. I personally like to work with underscore. All right. Both is easy. Yeah, exactly. So you could work with any one of them. Okay. But I like to work with the underscore because it still acts like the space. Okay. All right. So it's still very easy to read. All right. So yes, so this is a variable. This is what we call a variable. So you see this one now, okay? If a mena is given into first name, last name, EPRO is given into last name. So this is what we call variable assignment. And these are the rules you need to follow. It's very simple rules, okay? And with practice, you get better. That's just the truth, okay? So the first one, case sensitive, ensure that if you're writing everything in capital letter, write it in all capital letter. If you're writing in all small letter, always write in all small letters. So you get used to it. So don't capitalize where you're not supposed to capitalize. Don't write small letters, and you're going to be fine. So now let's use the knowledge of variable assignment. Okay. Let's use the knowledge from our variable assignment. Let's use the knowledge from our variable assignment. Okay. So first test. Okay. What did we get in our first test? Let's see. Let's say I got a 10 in my first test. Okay. Second test, I'll write sec test. Okay. Second test. Okay. Let's say I get let's say I get a 5 in my second test. Okay. And let's say attendance. Okay. Let's say attendance, I got over 10. I got the 8 over 10. All right. An exam. What do I get in exam, guys? Okay, let's say I got a 40 in exam. Okay. So my total score, what would be my total score, guys? For this exam, what would be my total score? What would be my total score? All right. So now I'm building an exam calculator. So for first test, you see, I assigned the number 10. For second test, let me write it in full so you understand. Second test, I got a 5 in my second test. Attendance, I got 8. Okay. And in exam, I got a 40. All right. Everybody's giving me the final answer. Okay. But I want to know the calculation. How do I go about the calculation? Okay. All right. How do I go about the calculation? How did you get 63? How did you get 63? That's the key question. How did you get 63? Okay. So that is what first test. Okay. First test, first underscore test. All right. Plus what? Second test, isn't it? Second, okay, underscore test. Okay. Plus attendance. Okay. All right. And plus exam. Okay. And exam, I mean, total score, I would display total score. Okay. For me to see it. All right. So what I have done here is I have assigned 10 to my first test. So I got 10 in first test, I got 5 in second test, and I got 8 in attendance. And lastly, I got 40 in my exam. All right. So total score is my first test plus my second test plus my attendance plus my exam. Okay. And if I run this now, shift enter to run, you see it will give me 63. Okay. So that's my first test plus my second test plus my attendance plus my exam will give me 63. Okay. Do you guys understand this? Do you understand exactly what we have done now? So rather than using the numbers, rather than say 10 plus 5 plus 8 plus 40, I have assigned everything. All right. And I used it in my calculation. All right. So I assigned 10 to my first test. I assigned 5 to my second test. I assigned 8 to my attendance, and I assigned 40 to my exam. Okay. So what I did now is just first test, which is 10, plus second test, which is 5, plus attendance, which is 8, plus exam, which is 40. So when you add everything together, it will give you what? 63. All right. It will give you 63. But now, this is not dynamic enough. Okay. This is not dynamic enough. This is like somebody that just started learning how to program. Okay. So we're going to make it a bit more dynamic so that anybody in the class can come in to writing to put in their own scores by themselves. All right. So I want to make this more dynamic. Okay. So it's currently not dynamic because if another person wants to test it, if another person wants to test my code, okay, what would they do? They'll come here and do what? They'll come and do what? They'll come and write their own manually. Let's say 3. Another person will come here and write, let's say 4. This person gets maybe 10 in attendance, and exam, the person gets a 25. All right. So this person gets 42. But now it's not dynamic. It's very manual. This is what we call hard coding. Okay. This is what we refer to as hard coding. So manually imputing those numbers by yourself. Okay. Manually imputing those numbers by yourself. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to take out all the scores and I want to make it dynamic. Okay. I want to make it dynamic. Okay. So if you use applications online, you'll find out that the application feels like it is having a conversation with you. Like it is having it has this personal feeling. It has this, personal conversation with you. All right. Kindly input your email. Hello, Ife. How are you doing today? You put in your first name, you put in your last name. It will tell you, hello, Ife. Hello, this. All right. So let's talk. Let's make our code also dynamic, just like real life examples. Okay. So in this first test, I want to make it dynamic. I want Python to be the one to ask a question to say that, Ife Mena, what did you get in your first test? When it gets to second test, what did you get in your second test? Attendance, what did you get in attendance and exam? What did you get in your exam? Okay, so let's do first test. Let's try first test together. Okay, so I'm going to use, there's a function called the input function. Input, all right? The input function in Python allows Python, okay, turns Python into sort of like a servant, okay? So Python will be the one to start asking questions. So rather than me putting the numbers manually, Python would come and ask me, okay, what did you get in your first test? Okay, so this impute function allows Python to hold let's say it allows Python to hold conversation with the user. All right, it allows Python, okay, it gives permission, it gives Python the power to hold conversation with the user. Okay, so let's test it out together. So impute, what did you get in your first test? Okay, and I'm going to put a question mark. Okay, that's it. So when I run this code, I want Python to ask you a question. What did you get in your first test? All right, so I'll copy it because I want to use it for other things, other ones. All right, and I'll use it for the second one. The second one would be, what did you get in your second test? Okay, and the third one, I'll paste it. I would say, what did you get in your attendance? Okay, what did you get in your attendance? What is your attendance score? I don't care. Okay, it's English. Attendance. Okay, all right. What did you get in your attendance? And the last but not the least, exam. What did you get in your exam? Okay. Last but not the least, what did you get in your exam? Okay, what did you get in your exam? All right. So now this makes your code more dynamic. Now, this makes your code more dynamic. Now, let me ask you a question. Let me see the people that are following me. First test, is it going to be an integer or a float? Your first test, when you score an exam, your test in school, is it going to be an integer or a float? Let me ask you guys. Integer, are you sure? Float. Or it could be either integer or float, to be very honest with you. Some people will get 10 over 10. Some people can get 9.5. There was a time I scored 1.25 in a test. Okay, so it's very possible for them to give you a decimal point. All right, it could be either of the two, exactly. So it could be either of the two. It could either be a decimal point number or it could be a whole number. It could be. All right. So in this scenario where we're not too sure, okay, when we are not too sure, we use a float. Okay, so we'll wrap it inside like a shawarma. We'll wrap a float. We'll wrap that question inside a float. You see it here. You see everything is wrapped inside a float. Now, the good thing about a float is float will accept both whole number and both integer and float. So float does not discriminate. It will accept both integer and a float. It will accept the two of them. All right. So float will accept both. Float will accept both integer and a float. So if it is decimal point, if it is whole number, it really doesn't matter. It's going to accept the two of them. So what I have done is this impute, when Python gets the number from you, okay, all right, I'm going to wrap it inside that float, okay, inside a float. The same thing with second test, I'm going to wrap it inside a float, okay, I'm going to wrap it inside a float. And attendance also, I'm going to wrap it inside a float, okay, all right. And last but not the least, exam also, I'm going to wrap it inside a float. Okay. So now, this has made it more dynamic in the sense that, okay, this has made it more dynamic in the sense that Python will be the one to ask the question. And let's test it. Let me test it so I don't talk too much. So if I run this now, you see now, Python is the one asking the question, okay, what did you get in your first test? So it's not me manually imputing that number by myself anymore. I'm not manually imputing those numbers by myself anymore. All right. It is Python that is now asking the question, what did you get in your first test? So if I put a 10, it's going to work. And I'll press enter. All you need to do is press enter. Okay. What did you get in your second test? Now I got a 2 in my second test. I didn't read for the second test. All right. The third one, what did you get in your attendance? I come to class, I'm very okay. All right. I get 8 and I press enter again. What did you get in your exam? I'll put maybe a 55 and I press enter. You see, I get a what? 75. Okay. I get a 75. I get 75. So now, rather than me manually putting my numbers in the cell, so before I was manually putting, I'll put what? I'll put a 3. Do you understand? Rather than doing this, I have made it more dynamic using the input function. So using this input function, it's not dynamic. So when I'm deploying or I'm using it anywhere else, okay, people can put in their numbers by themselves. Okay, so it's not them working with my code. All right, it is Python interacting with the user. All right, so I'm getting Python to become more an interactive, to be working, to be asking questions to the user. All right, what did you get in your first test? Okay, 10. Second test, I got a 10. Attendance, I got a 10. Exam, I got 50. All right, I got 80 overall. Do you understand? Does that make sense, guys? What do you guys think about this? What do you guys think about this? Let me see in the chat. What do you guys think about this? What do you guys think? I'm sure you guys are excited. You can't wait to get the recording so you can try your hands on this. I'm sure. Perfect. Okay. Let me see. Let me see. Just Jones, HP. Okay. Mark. Okay. Anita. Great. Having fun. Okay. Fantastic. We're just getting started. Trust me. All right. Interesting to watch. Remarkable. So now Python is now becoming respectful. Okay. We've turned Python to, a more polite agent to be asking questions. What did you get in your first test? What did you get in your second test? What did you get in your third test? You can ask as many questions as you want. Okay, but now, like I said, when we started, I want to talk about conditional statement. Conditional statement. Now let's infuse a little bit of conditional statement. A little bit of conditional statement. All right. So I'll put a comment here and say that to confirm if you passed or failed. All right. To confirm if you passed or failed. So what's pass mark, guys? What's the pass mark? So what's pass mark in your own school? Let's see. What is pass mark? What is a pass mark in your school back then? All right. Or even recently, if you're still in school, what do you classify as a pass mark? 50, 80, Jesus Christ, HP. 80, yeah, them, 80%. Okay. Anyways, it's our school, okay? It's our own school. Some people are saying 40, some people are saying 50, some people are saying 55, some people are saying as high as 80. This is okay. So let's say, all right, let's say our pass mark. You can determine your own pass mark yourself, okay? All right, when you get your own code and you start to practice, let's say our pass mark equals to, let's say 60. Let's say 60. All right, 60. Pass mark is 60. All right. So I'm going to introduce you to what we call the if statement. If, okay? If I tell you, say, I love you, I love you guys, I'm not going to lie. I'm going to go into music next year, but as of now, I'm a data scientist, but I'll still sing for you. So if you go outside and you see, and you see shawarma, please buy me 2 shawarma. Okay? Simple. If is a condition. So if you don't see shawarma, don't buy anything. Okay? All right. If you see Nigerian jollof or you see Ghanaian jollof, buy for me. Any kind of jollof, buy jollof for me. All right. All right. It's as simple as that. Okay. It's as simple as that. If is a condition. So if you get above 60, which is the pass mark, okay? If you get above 60, so if you get greater than, I used to remember primary school, greater than, less than, greater than, less than. So you can still do it. I know I still see some adults, when they're trying to figure it out, you can also do it. There's no crime in it. So if you get greater than 60, you're fine. Okay. If you get what? Greater than 60. If you I'm dabbing already. All right. But if you get greater than 60, it means what? You have passed. You've passed the exam. Okay. You passed that particular course. Okay. So that's the pass mark. So if it gets greater than 60. Okay. So let me test the people that, okay. Let me test the people that know a little bit of. Let me test people. Let me see people that are good again. All right. So greater than 60, what does that mean? Let me see. So people, I'm going to give a cash reward to people that get this. Okay. So when you say greater than 60, what does it mean? What does it mean? What number values are you looking at? Greater than 60? No. 60. Peter, no. So give me, okay, Ikechukwu, you're correct. Ikechukwu, Brahma, please take down Ikechukwu's name. I'm going to give Ikechukwu some cash reward after this class. Ikechukwu, please remind me after the session, okay? I have something, I'll give you something. So greater than 60 equals to 61 and above, okay? 61 and above, okay? But if I say greater than or equals to 60, what does that mean? Greater than or equals to 60. Now, fastest finger. Hey, Josiah, Josiah. Josiah is the first person, fastest finger. 60 and above. Please, Josiah, two. Number two, you are the second person. Please remind me at the end of the session. I have a special package for you. All right. So that is 60 and above. Okay. Let me test another set of people. Let me test another one. I'll give another chance. Okay. So fastest fingers, guys, listen to the question. Listen to the question. The second one is equals to 60. What does it mean? When you say equals to 60, oh, we have a lady in the house that is winning this one. Oh. Is that Amma? Amma is the winner for this. Fastest finger equals to 60 is 60 on the dots. All right. All right. So that's exactly what it is. Okay, I think I have. Let me do one more. Okay, let me do one more. Let me do one more. Let me see the fastest. Fastest. So please, Amma, Ikechukwu, sorry, I forgot Josiah. Okay, those are three people. Remind me at the end of the session. I have a special package for you. All right. Now let's try another one. Let's see another one. Let me see. I'm going to test you guys. Not equals to 60. Okay, not equals to 60. No, no, no. Let me see. Not equals to 60. Not equals to 60. Nobody's getting it just yet. Nobody. All of you are getting one aspect of it, but nobody's getting the two sides of it. There are two sides. Oh, Oluwatobiloba is the correct answer. Anything not 60. That's also Ada. Anything not 60, not equals to 60. Okay, Ada seems to be the correct one so far. Ada got it. It's almost the same time, but Tobiloba came in just a few numbers down. So Ada, you have to remind me after the session. Ada is the next person, okay? All right. So that's about my giveaway. Anyway, that's my giveaway. You guys have done awesome work, okay? So greater than 60. All right. So I have 4 people I'm giving something to. So please remind me at the end of the session. Please, guys, remind me. All right. Greater than 60. Greater than 60. So that is 61 and above. But when you say greater than or equals to 60, so that equals to is really has to mean it is. They say that it is greater than, but it is also equals to 60. All right. So it's greater than 60, no doubt about that. But it is equals to 60. So that's why it is 60 and above. Okay. Greater than 60 means that 61 and above. Anything that is greater than 60 is 61 and above. But when you say greater than or and equals to 60, it means it is greater than 60, but it is also equals to 60. All right, which is exactly what we see. All right, so let's go back to our code, okay? So to confirm, if I tell you, say I love you, all right, so if our total score, okay, if our total score is greater than or equals to 60, correct? So our pass mark, okay, pass mark is 60. So if your total score is greater than or equals to 60, put a column, press enter, you say print, you have passed your exam. You have passed your exams. You've passed your course. Let's put it like that. You passed your course. You have passed your course. Your course, I don't know, your course exams. Or you pass your course. Okay, you pass I'll just put it as course. Okay, simple. All right. And if you don't get else, okay, if you don't get up to 60, I'll print what? I'll print Olodo Rabata. Olodo. Okay, so you guys are not Yoruba. That basically means a donut. Okay, I'll put CI. Okay, let's put you have failed your exams. You failed your course. Okay, all right. So even you see, it's as simple as that. Okay, so this is our code here. Okay, this is our code. It's going to get the first test, second test, attendance. It's going to sum it up, okay, to give you a total score. Now, if that total score is greater than or equals to 60, so it is greater than, that is, if it is 61 and above, okay, what would happen? You have passed your course. But if it is not up to, okay, else you have failed your course. So is it that you pass or you fail? It's as simple as that. Is that you pass, which is 61 and above, or else you fail, which is anything 60 and above. Okay, 59 and below, I mean. All right. So now let's do this. Let's do this. Okay. Let me take this one out. Okay, I'll take this out and I'll bring it to the top. I'll bring it here and I'll say print total score. Okay, and let's do it now. Let me run this now. Let me run this. So first test, I got a 5 or more. 5. I got 5 in first test. Second test, I got a 2. Attendance, I got a 10. Exam, I got a 40 in exam. So you see 57. All right. You have failed your course. Okay. So this is what we call a conditional statement. A conditional statement. Okay. All right. This is what we could refer to as a conditional statement. All right. So let's try it again. Let's see for people that passed. Okay. Let's say you get a 10. All right. You get a 15 in your second test. You got a 10 in attendance exam. You got a 35. Let's say that's yes, 35 is okay. And you get a 35. All right. 70. Okay. You have passed your course. You have passed your course. So programming does not have to be so difficult. As long as you can relate to it, you can use the right things that relate to you, and you can use it efficiently. Your programming skill will skyrocket times 10. Do you understand? Right? So we've used, conditional statements, and we've also used what we call, your variable assignments, so on and so forth. All right. Did you guys understand what we just did? Did you get what we just did? Okay. You guys understand what we just did? We just included a conditional statement that would assess your total score and confirm if you pass or if you fail. Okay, so if your total score is above 60, okay, it is 60 and above, it is greater than, if that your total score we calculated earlier. All right, if your total, this one now, the total score is 70. All right, so 70, if the total score 70 is greater than or equals to 70. Oh, 60, I mean 60, sorry. Let me get a pen. I wonder why Zoom doesn't give me a pen anymore. All right, probably need to figure it out. Give me a second. Okay, annotations. Brahima, if there's a way you can bring back annotations to the Zoom stuff, okay, so I can use the pen there. All right, I will appreciate. Thanks. All right. So you see this total score. The total score is 70. So 70 is greater than 60. So that means you have passed. Okay. So if the total score is greater than the 60, if you get above 60, you have passed. That's exactly what we're trying to look for. So you must get above 60 for you to pass. You must get above 60 for you to pass. And that's exactly what we're assessing. All right? That's exactly what we are assessing. It's as simple as that. Okay. So, I don't know if you have any questions, but I'll take questions as we go on. Okay. But essentially, you see, in just roughly 1 hour, okay, you see how we learned 3 data types. All right. And we get tests for exactly 60. Let's try it. Let's try it. Let's try it. You see, you still pass because it is greater than or equals to 60. So if I get 10 in first test, 10 in second test, okay, 10, okay, no, 10 I cannot get. Let's say I get 5 in attendance. All right, that's 25. Then I get 35 in exam. What would happen? I get 60 on the dots. Okay, so 60 on the dots will give me you have passed your course. Okay, that's because greater than or equals to 60. So you are getting 60 and above. 60, anything 60 and above, you have passed your course. Does that make sense? Does it make sense now, Beatrice? All right. Okay, why is the total score not like this? Okay, total score. I'm not sure what you mean. Okay. All right. So that's exactly what we've done. Okay. That's exactly what we've done. So we've built our test calculator. Okay. And let me just, do I want to complicate it a little bit for you? All right. So you see, there's something we call a function. Okay. There's something we call a function. Okay. This type here, this type that we used here is called an inbuilt function. So follow come. So we know what we call a follow come charger. Back then, BlackBerry, you go and buy BlackBerry follow come charger. Okay, iPhone follow come charger, meaning that this is the charger that came with the iPhone. All right, or a Samsung follow come charger, or a laptop follow come charger, meaning that this is the original. Okay, this is what that comes with it. So with Python, type is a follow com function. It came with Python, okay? All right. But we can also create our own function, okay? We can also create our own function. Now, take for example, rather than writing this big chunk of code, okay? How many lines, okay? So we have about, this is close to 10 lines, okay? So rather than writing this big chunk of code, I can convert it into a function. Now, let me just show you. I'm not going to complicate it. You don't need to be an expert just yet, if you're just a beginner. All right. So I'm going to do it for you. So I'm going to define the function to define, and I'll call it test underscore calculator. Okay. All right. Calculator. And I'm going to open brackets, close the bracket. Okay. Semicolon, press enter. Okay. And I'll just tab. Okay. Okay. So with this, if I run this now, nothing will come out. Okay. So now, rather than writing this big chunk, rather than using this big chunk of codes, I have converted it into just what we call test calculator. Test, all capital letter. Test calculator. Okay. Open and close brackets. And now, rather than writing this big chunk of code, okay, I have converted it into this small thing here because of just this thing I put here. Just this thing I put here. All right. All right. You see what I'll see what will happen now. If I run this now, you see, it's doing the same thing. This big chunk of code, okay, I've converted into a test, I've converted it into a function. Okay. Now, rather than running with that big chunk of code, I can just run with a line. Okay. So now I can put the same 10, okay, the same 10, the same 10, and 30, and let's say 24. All right. It will still give me the same result. Okay. So you see this big chunk of code, rather than working with big chunks of code, that's why we use functions in data science and data engineering and so on and so forth. And in programming in general. All right. So we work with functions because it makes our code smaller and shorter to work with. So rather than always writing this big chunk of code, I'll just be using this small code. Okay, so this small code would also replace all these big codes that we have here. All right, so that's basically what we call a function. Okay, and that's the benefit of working with a function. So you see, in just the past hour, okay, we have learned three data structures, okay, integers, float, and strings. We've learned about conditional statements, and we've also learned what we call a function. All right, so that's exactly what we've done in the last just roughly 1 hour or thereabouts. Okay, so see, learning Python doesn't have to be absolutely, difficult. It doesn't have to be something overly difficult for you to comprehend. All right, and that's the reason why we started the data science training program to sort of, allay some people's concerns about using Python. Python can actually be fun to learn. And you see what we did here, first test, second test, attendance, exam. And you see how we interacted everything together for you to understand how to use conditional statements, how to use data types, how to use variables, so on and so forth. So that's the beauty of you getting started in data science. And that's what we're going to be talking about. How do you get started in data science? That's the key question. How do you get started in data science? Okay. So the full stack. If you had a wonderful time today, if you learned something from the programming session, could you drop a 1 in the chat? If you learned something, if you are eager to try your hands on your code, all right, put a 1 in the chat. Let me see. All right. Fantastic, fantastic, fantastic. I love this. All right, that's great. I'm so excited. This is the reason why we're doing this, all this staying up late to talk to you about this. All right. So the full stack data science program will teach you immersive, you know, in a world that you cannot even comprehend. It's going to teach you all the things you need to learn from Python to SQL to Tableau. And I'm going to talk about everything. All right. So see what we just did in 1 hour. Literally, see what you learned in just roughly 1 hour. Now imagine a 3 month immersive program that will take you hands-on, from 0 to 100 degree. All right. So the training program is 100% online. Okay, 100% online. So you see, you're currently in Ghana, you're in Kenya, you're in Tanzania, you're in Nigeria, you're in the UK, you're in Japan. It doesn't matter where you are. All right. Location is not a barrier anymore. So learning transcends, barrier, transcends distance this time around. So you can learn from anywhere. All right, 100% online learning, hands-on practical session, hands-on practical sessions, like what we did today. All right. The only reason why you couldn't practice alongside with me was just because we just had a very few hour to, go alongside with it, But during the classes, you'll be doing live coding exercises with experts like myself, like Brahima, and so on and so forth. All right. And you'll still get access to videos, the sessions are recorded, all sessions are recorded. You get access to the videos, you get access to the exercises, you get access to more projects for you to work on. So the whole idea about project-based, learning is so that, no matter how you find yourself in a real life situation, you will know exactly what to do. All right. So it's hands-on practical sessions, all right, with videos, with exercises, with projects, for you to immerse yourself in that learning experience. All right. Now, another good part about it is lifetime access. So there's no expiration on how long you have these materials. Okay. You could have them for 6 months, 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years down the line. You need to access the materials. You will have access to them. So you have lifetime access to the materials. All right. So you're going to be working with over 20 plus topics with 20 classes, about 20 classes with 50 plus topics. All right. So today we only handled 3 data types. All right. Today Brahima, please, can you hear me well? I don't know why I'm getting some people saying
Yes,
I
I
can't.
can. I can hear you clearly.
Clearly, okay. Thank you very much. Okay, so 20 plus classes, 50 plus topics. Today we only handled 3 data types, okay? And you can see how we can combine them together to pass across the message, to implement some particular techniques, okay? All right. So in terms of average salary of a data scientist in the UK, it's £55,000 per annum, okay? Across different regions, the average salaries ranges, okay? In the US, for example, it's $121,000 for the guys in the US. In the US, I think it's about 94,000 for the guys in Canada. All right. This particular training program, you would add over 6 projects to your portfolio. All right. So recruiters are usually very, very, finicky about the projects you've worked on. All right. So you're a data scientist. You say you know how to work with Excel, you know how to work with Tableau, you know how to work with Python. What projects have you worked on? And you show me. And that's why you're going to be working with GitHub, all right, to sort of document all the projects you're going to work on. So you're going to use, GitHub for your repository. You're also going to use GitHub for your version control. So you get to work with all these things together. All right. Also, we'll work on 100% job prospect visibility. So meaning that, like I said, the whole essence of you learning data science is not just for the fun of it. All right. It's not just for the fun of you learning data science. You want to get a better job. You want to get a remote job. How do you get this? We would help you achieve that. Okay. The next part is industry relevant certification. Industry relevant certification. So after you train program, you will get a certificate that is industry relevant. Now, the other part of it is the timeline. It's a 3 month training program, 3 month plus training program, and it comes with 1 month free virtual internship. It comes with 1 month free virtual internship. So you have 3 months of immersive learning, all right, and you have 1 month of free virtual internship. So it's very immersive. It's a very immersive training program. Okay, from being online to hands-on practical to life, access, lifetime access to over 20 classes, 50 plus topics. See what we just did in 1 hour. So imagine what you do for 3 months of you working on different kinds of projects. Okay. So what are the things you need to know in order for you to become a full stack data scientist? What do you need to learn? All right. The first thing is statistics. Now, statistics is divided into two parts, two critical parts. We have descriptive statistics and we have inferential statistics. All right. But we'll talk about that. But you need statistics as a data scientist. And the reason why you need statistics is very simple. Now, when you talk about the space of data, okay, take for example, unemployment, okay, Nigeria will just come up, Nigeria Bureau of Statistics will come up and just say that, okay, our unemployment rate in Nigeria is 33%. What makes you think, did they ask everybody in Nigeria if they are with or without a job? Do you think they went around Nigeria to start asking every single person, do you have a job? Do you have a job? Are you with a job or without a job? Is there a questionnaire that went around the country to ascertain who has a job and who doesn't have a job? The same thing in the US, the same thing in Kenya, the same thing across the world. How do these economies come up with these numbers? All right. Now, there's something we call population data and sample data. Because something we call population, pardon my writing, population data, and what we have sample data. All right, population. Okay, so something we call population data and sample data. Population data is taken, for example, unemployment rate in Nigeria, meaning that you're taking every single person in consideration. All right, that means you sent out a survey, okay, and you asked everybody in Nigeria, do you have a job? Do you not have a job? Do you have a job? Do you not have a job? And everybody's selecting whichever option attains to them. All right, but it's very difficult to get that kind of survey out. Okay. You have over 200 million people in Nigeria. How do you get everybody to fill a survey to confirm if they are with a job or without a job? It's impossible for you to do that. All right. Even if you try, it's going to be very expensive for you to do that. All right. It's going to be very, very expensive for you to do that. And that's the reason why, it's difficult for you to work with population data. All right. It's very difficult. Majority of the time working as a data scientist, it's difficult to get population data. It's hard, it is expensive. There are so many difficulties that comes with working with population data. So most times you will get to start working with what we call sample data. Sample data. All right. So you see, you get a sample, you get a small sample, maybe 100, maybe 500 people in this local government, another 300 from this local government, another 100 from this local government. So you take random samples across the country, okay? And eventually, you use those samples to make inferences about the population, okay? So you see, that's exactly what happens, okay? So all those numbers that you just see, 33% unemployment rate, oh, this percent, this percent, you now start asking yourself, did they ask me? Did they ask me if I have a job or I don't have a job? So how did they make a decision about me? All right. What they are done is to take small samples in local governments in Lagos, in this local government in Lagos, another local government in Ibadan, another local government in Abuja, and across the whole of Nigeria. All right. So those small samples that they are taking, all right, they would use those samples to make inferences about the population. Now, what makes you think they are able to do this inference? This is what we call inferential statistics. All right. So that's why you need statistics as a data scientist, because majority of the time, working with population data is difficult to get a hand of. Hence the reason why you're working with samples, and that's the reason why statistics is very, very important. All right. So you'll be learning statistics. All right. You'll be learning all the key fundamentals that you need to learn in the role of statistics and how statistics apply to your role as a data scientist. All right. Now, upon learning statistics, you move into Excel and Tableau for descriptive analytics, diagnostic analytics, and predictive analytics. So you use Excel, okay, to perform descriptive analytics, diagnostic analytics, and predictive analytics. Now, you might be a bit confused. What does these things mean? What do they mean? All right. So Excel and Tableau, you could use them for the first one, which is descriptive analytics. Descriptive analytics is basically answering a very particular question within a business. What happened? All right. So if you're doing your analysis and your CEO, the CFO, or any other stakeholder within the business, is trying to figure out what happened in our branch in Kenya, what happened with our branch in London, what happened with our branch in Manchester, all right, what happened in the branch in Canada or in Alberta, in Edmonton, all right, and so on and so forth. You want to know exactly what happened. So you want to find out analysis, you want to analyze and tell a story on what happened in a particular location, in a particular business, in a particular timeline in January and February, so on and so forth. So you could say that, oh, we made 500 million last month, okay, or we made 50 million last month. The prior month, we also made 47 million, okay? So you can compare month on month. Did we increase or did we reduce, okay? Take, for example, in January, we made 70 million. February, we made 75 million. And in March, we made 120 million. So you see, there is an increase. There's been an increase from February to March. So January, we did 70. February, we did 72. March, we did 120. So we have moved from, an average of 70 million in January and February to 120 million in March. Okay. So you have carried out descriptive analytics, okay? You've carried out descriptive analytics to tell a story on what happened in January, what happened in February, and what happened in March. So we made 70 in January, we made 72 in February, and we made 120 in March. So you see, there's a trend. You see the trend. The trend will look very similar to this, all right? All right, the trend will look like this, okay? So we have January, we have February, and we have March, okay? So it looked like this, okay? So maybe we have like January, 70 million, all right? It moves to February, another 72 million, all right? And all the way to March, we have what? 120 million. So you see, there is a huge gap, okay? There is a huge gap. We know the next thing we need to find out, all right, is why, okay, what happened? Okay, we know what happened already. We made 70 million in January, we made 72 in February, and we made 120 million in March. That's what happened. We need to now figure out why did that particular thing happen. All right. Why did it happen? That's the next question. So we need to diagnose. So descriptive analytics has answered the first question, what happened? 70, 72, 120. Now, the next question is, why did it happen? Why did we move from 72 million? All right. Why did we move from 72 million? What am I writing? Why did we move from 72 million to 120 million? It's the next question to answer. All right. So you now start to figure out, that's when you now start to do diagnostic analytics to figure out why you moved from 72 to 120. All right. That's when you now start to do analysis around marketing campaign, sales promotion. You start to do web analytics. You start to do product analytics to figure out, did something change in terms of the product? Was it a marketing campaign that we did? Did we run ads on Instagram? Did we run ads on Facebook? Did we do did an influencer use our product and posted the product online? Was that the reason why we got this increase from 70 million, all right, all the way to 120 million? What happened? Why did that particular thing happen? Why was there a big surge? And the reason why we want to know why that particular thing, why we want to know why that happened is very simple. If I know why we moved from 72 million to 120 million, I would want to continue that particular thing so that I will continue to move up to 240, all right? To, keep going up, keep climbing. So if I know why that particular thing happened, please continue. Let's keep implementing till we continue to make more money. Do you understand? So that's why businesses are more, are looking for analysts, data scientists to answer these critical questions. What happened and why that particular thing happened. All right. Now, the data scientist is also going to be involved in what we call predictive analytics. Okay, predictive analytics. And you're going to be using Excel and Tableau to do this. You will use Excel and Tableau to perform what we call predictive analytics. Okay. Now, we know what happened in January, we know what happened in February, and we know what happened in March. Now, the key question is, what will happen before the end of the year? Okay, what would happen from April, all right, all the way to December? What would happen from April to December? So that's where you start to do what we call predictive analytics. That's where you now come up with what we call predictive analytics. So there are different techniques you could use for forecasting, for predictive analytics, and that's when you start to work with them using Excel and using Tableau. Okay, so you'll learn that during the curriculum. You'll learn how to work with Excel for descriptive, diagnostic, and predictive analytics. Okay, thereafter, you work with SQL. SQL stands for Structured Query Language. All right. So, businesses store their data in what we call databases. Okay. Businesses store their data in what we call database. Okay. It's called a database. Okay. Database is more or less like a well. Okay. A well or a borehole. Okay, let's take a well. Do you guys know what a well is? Okay, a well. Okay, so does anybody know what a well is? Let me see. Okay, does anybody know what a well is? We have a lot of non-Nigerians in the house. Okay, Sakina. Okay, yes. Okay, okay. All right. It's just like a well. So you see, water stores. You see, the well stores water. Okay, stores water or a reservoir. Okay, all right, or a oil tank or whatever oil well. Okay, so those well reservoirs they store data, they store information, they store materials, either oil or they store water. The well, for example, stores water. Okay, stores so what is a conga? All right, a well. Okay, so this well stores water, correct? It stores water, or a reservoir stores water or stores oil. It could be anything. Okay. Now, in order for you to take this thing out of the well or the reservoir, you need an instrument that will allow you fetch it from the reservoir. All right. So there's something we call in Nigeria, we call it a fetcher, okay? Or in some other parts of the country, you have what we call a pumping machine, okay, to pump water out of the well or the borehole or the reservoir. You need something to be able to extract water or oil from the reservoir or the well. All right. So yes, database is more or less like the reservoir. Okay, it's like the reservoir that stores the business data. All right. It is that reservoir that stores the business data. Now, in order for us to extract data from that reservoir, that database, okay, we need SQL. All right. We need SQL. We need SQL to extract the data from the reservoir, from the database. Okay. So SQL is very important because as a data scientist, all right, they won't come with a flash drive. Okay. Nobody's going to come with a flash drive and say, this is the data you're going to be working on today. All right. Nobody's going to come with a flash drive. Nobody's going to send you an email. Dear Sakina, kindly find attached the data set for today. Nobody's going to do that. So where would you get your data from? Well, where would you get your data from? Okay, you will need SQL. All right. So the data will be stored in a database. All right, and you will need SQL, or is that tool that will allow you to extract data from the database. All right, that's why you need SQL. All right. So in order for you to do all this, your descriptive, predictive analytics, all right, you need SQL to be able to extract data for this your analysis. All right, that's exactly what you will be working on. So you will learn Excel for what we call DDL, DML, and DQL, data definition language, data manipulation language, and data query language. All right. So you'll be learning SQL. So you learn statistics, you learn predictive analytics, using Excel and Tableau, you learn SQL. All right. You move into Python, you get to work with Python programming like we did today. Then you move into learning machine learning and computer vision. Then lastly, you become a master data scientist. Okay. So you learn Excel, you learn statistics, that's the first thing, descriptive and inferential statistics. You go into Excel and Tableau for descriptive, diagnostic, and predictive analytics. You move into SQL, you learn Python, okay? You learn Python for exploratory data analysis, for data visualization, for machine learning, and computer vision. And once you're done with that, you become a master data scientist. All right. So this is how you're going to progress in the curriculum. All right. You're going to be starting with statistics, moving to Excel, moving to Tableau, moving to SQL, Python, data analytics and visualization, machine learning, and computer vision. All right. So this is how you're going to progress. Now, the good part of this here is you're still going to be working with other technologies like Microsoft Fabrics. All right. Microsoft Fabrics is a very recent technology. All right. And the next couple of months is going to likely be taking the lead in terms of deployment, or people that have experience in Microsoft Fabrics would be in high demand. And it's very simple. Microsoft Fabrics is going to be a one-stop shop, okay, for analytical solution. Okay, so looking at data pipeline, looking at data engineering, looking at data science, looking at data analytics, everything infused in one application. That is what we call Microsoft Fabric. So you're going to be learning Microsoft Fabric, even though it's not in demand at the moment. Okay, all right. I think it came out about 5 months ago. So it's still in beta phase. Okay, so it's not been deployed, but you're still going to be learning it, and it's the reason why we're teaching it now is because we want the people going through our program to sort of be updated with recent technologies, recent application of these technologies to real life situations and so on. All right. Also, you're going to be working with AI. So you're going to be working with ChatGPT, and you're going to be working with GitHub Copilot. You're going to be working with ChatGPT, and you'll also be working with GitHub Copilot. So that's exactly what you're working with. So along the training program, you statistics, Excel, Tableau, SQL, Python, machine learning, computer vision. You would also work with ChatGPT, Microsoft Fabrics, and GitHub Copilot. Okay, so guess what? Learning all these technical skills only amounts. This is only 50%. This is the only 50% that will help you get a job. All right. So learning all these technical skills only amounts to 50%. So meaning that you learn all these technical skills, there's only a 50% chance of you getting a job. Now, you must asking yourself, what is the other 50% I need in order for me to get a job? What is the other 50% that is required for me to get a job? After learning all these big things, okay, that's the only 50%. Is that what you mean, Efimena? Absolutely. And that's the reason why we have employability services. Okay. So learning the technical skill is not enough, okay, for you to get a job. All right. You need rebranding. You need a personal rebranding. The first of them all is CV review. All right. So we're going to help you review your CV. All right. So, a lot of people will learn new skills and not rebrand themselves. And they'll be using the same CV that they were using 5 years ago. They dust it out and they start to use it again. And they find no success with those kind of CVs. All right. So CV review, we're going to help you review your CV. And all the services that we have here, they're all free of charge. You're not paying a dime for this. All right. So we're going to help you review your CV. So there's something across different countries, even in Africa, across the world. People, recruiters are starting and employers are starting to use what we call ATS. ATS stands for Applicants Tracking Software. So there was a time that I applied for a job. This was a couple of years back. All right, and immediately applied for the job. Okay, I got an instant rejection letter, rejection email. I'm very sure you guys have been in that situation, and if you've never been in that situation before, you will likely still find yourself in that situation when you start applying for jobs. All right, that's if you don't do our CV review. Okay, anyways, all right. So with this ATS will scan your CV, okay, to see relevance. Okay, so search for certain keywords. All right. And if those keywords don't exist on your CV, it gives you an immediate rejection email. Just like the if statement that we saw today. If you get above 60, do what? You've passed the course. If you get below, you are failed. So you see those conditions are there in the applicant tracking software. If you get these keywords from this particular CV, please pass it on to the recruiter. If not, send a rejection email. Simple if statement. Okay. All right. So we help you revamp your CV. We help you revamp your CV regardless of the location where you are. You're in Africa, you're in Japan, you're in different CV templates for different regions. depending on where you are. So we help you revamp your CV. All right. I don't have experience. How do I put it on my CV? Don't worry. That's exactly what we do during the CV session. All right. Now, moving on to LinkedIn optimization, we help you optimize your LinkedIn profile. So, whenever recruiters within your area, okay, are looking for a job, are looking for, for an employee, all right, to fill a particular role, your profile will appear. So, LinkedIn optimization works very similar to what we call search engine optimization. It works almost the same way search engine optimization works. Okay. So if a recruiter is looking for a data scientist, a data analyst, okay, or a business systems analyst, your profile should come up. All right. Anything that has to do with analytics, science, data science, your profile should pop up. Now, if your profile doesn't pop up, then your LinkedIn profile is not optimized. I was on the Twitter live yesterday and somebody said he just moved into the UK, all right, and just did some minor adjustments, okay, on his LinkedIn, because this is a professional. He has been working in data science for a while. All right. And he made some adjustment to his CV. And he said within 2 weeks, he got 2 job offers. All right. Just within a month of landing into the UK and spending 2 weeks, not even actively applying, just LinkedIn, just a minor change to the LinkedIn profile, got 2 offers. All right, but because of student visa, he rejected it. I had a Twitter live yesterday. You can still go on Twitter, you can listen to it. That's proved to exactly what I'm talking about on LinkedIn optimization. So you could go to the Analytics Twitter handle, you would see it there. Just follow, it's towards the end, you will listen to the guy saying, giving testimony about LinkedIn optimization. So that's one thing that people don't understand. All right. Link optimization is one thing that would save you in terms of job search. Recruiters will be the one to search for you. Imagine you're just on your own and recruiters are chasing after you. Okay? To say we need to give you a job. Your CV looks good. Your profile on LinkedIn looks amazing. We need to give you a job. All right. That's what LinkedIn optimization does for you. All right. Now, the next thing is Upwork optimization. Upwork is a freelance platform that allows you to work as a data scientist freelance. I'm just going to spend 2 seconds on the website so you see exactly what I'm talking about. Okay, so I'm going to type in Upwork and you could try the same thing. Upwork, you see it here? Find the best freelance job. All right, so I'm just going to go to D just because obviously data analyst, see the word data scientist, data miner. There are jobs there. You see some of the jobs there. Oh, no, that's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for data scientists. So data scientists, this is all freelance, okay? Classification and ranking documents, image, video. Like I said, you're going to be working on computer vision. So you see this. This is $500 for this particular one. Apply Bayesian inferences on soil fertility. You see some of the projects you're going to work on, and you see how this is just a piece of cake. So this is like $50, and they usually pay per hour. Okay. I need a full stack programmer to work with me 5 hours a day, $50. You can also specify the number of hours and so on and so forth. They usually pay per hours, like I said. So these are all, NLP model, forecasting, social, these are the things that you could actually work freelance. All right. And the good thing about the data science program is you can work as a data extraction specialist, you can work as data entry, you can work as data scraper, you can work as a database analyst, data analyst, and so on, data cleaning analyst. There's so many data related roles, working freelance, earning in dollars. All right. So even if you're a student in the UK, all right, you can actually be earning in dollars working freelancing. So how do you get your profile on Upwork optimized? Just like LinkedIn optimization, your Upwork profile also has to be optimized in order for, potential recruiters, potential gig owners to reach out to you to say, I want to work with you. So whenever they search for a data scientist on the platform, your own profile should appear. Okay. Navigating the job market is another aspect of what we do. We help you show you how to navigate the job market. How do I get a remote job? Okay. That's a buzzing question. How do I land a remote job? Okay. I'm working in Nigeria. I'm working in Ghana. I live in Ghana. I live in South Africa. I live in Kenya. Or I live in the UK. All right. But I want to get a job in the US. How do I get a job in the US? All right. So how do you navigate the job market? So as a data scientist, when you finish learning the training program, do you go online to start searching for only data scientist roles out there? Absolutely not. Okay. Absolutely not. There are quite a number of other jobs you can actually take on. Like I mentioned, and I'm going to still explain to you some of the jobs you can actually take on. So not just the type of jobs you could take, where do you get these jobs? How do you get these jobs? So we show you how to navigate the job market. The next part is recommendation and reference letter. Recommendation and reference letter. So we provide recommendation and reference letter to your potential recruiters, potential employers, and this is something that we do frequently. You're doing your master's, you're doing your PhD, you're going for like a scholarship program. We write for you, we stand in for you. So most people don't have this, and that's the reason why they get stuck. Okay, they get stuck because they've been working as customer service and they've used the last 2, 3 years to apply for jobs and they're not getting the jobs. Why? Okay, nobody can stand in for them. All right. So whenever they get a job and they ask for a reference, what organization is going to stand in for them as data scientists or data analysts? Nobody. And that's why we provide, it was necessary for us to provide this for our participants, okay, going through analytics. Being the fact that you're going to work on projects, all right, you're going to work in teams, you're going to work on all this, okay, you are going to get that experience. And hence the reason why we can stand in for you and offer you the recommendation and reference letter. All right. We also do job and interview preparation. 100%, once you get after you after we have reviewed your CV, to optimize your LinkedIn profile, your Upwork profile is optimized, everything you know how to navigate the job market. We provided you with recommendation letter, reference letter, and you get that job interview. Okay. We will prepare you for the interview. So we have what we call mock interview sessions on how you answer questions. How do you answer a situational based question? Very simple. Tell me about a time you worked with a team, okay? And how were you able to implement data science within that particular project? So there's something we call the STAR technique of answering situational based questions. STAR, situation, talk about the situation. All right. Talk about the task that was performed. Talk about the action. Talk about the result of your analysis or your data science or initiative. Okay. So that is situation, task, action, and result. How do you structure your answer using this particular template? Okay. Weekly mentorship sessions are also part of what we do for you. All right. So we're bringing experts within the space to get you started in data science. So how did they get started? What were the major barriers in getting them started? So on and so forth. So we walk you through mentorship session. All right. And last but not the least, on the job support. So we provide on the job support, even after you've gotten the job and you still find it difficult to probably navigate or handle certain tasks allotted to you at work, we would help you, okay, get started. Okay. Now, the growth internship program, like I said, our program comes with 1 month immersive training program. So you have 3 months plus of working, of learning. Okay, I'm working on different projects. Okay, and after that, you have 1 month immersive time. All right, where you're going to be working on the growth internship program. Now, this internship program, you can add it to your CV as an actual work experience. All right, so you can claim work experience from Analytics. All right, to tell potential recruiters that, oh, I currently work as a data scientist with analytics. I work as a data analyst with analytics. I work as this with analytics, and so on and so forth. So you can add it to your CV. So we're literally providing you with that springboard, okay, that you could use in securing the job that you're looking for. All right. 1 month internship to own your skill. Okay, so you can get to own your skill. So everybody, people usually have what we call imposter syndrome. So even after they've learned so much within 3 months, they still feel like they need to learn more. And that's the reason why we created the growth internship program to help allay some of these concerns. All right. So when you see that, oh, given a real life situation, all right, this is how I undo the project. This was my result, and you would also get what project review with an expert. So you get to see, that this work that you've done. All right, an expert will review and tell you exactly what to do and what not to do next time in order for you to get better. All right, so you have that 1 month of 1 month experience. All right, of you working on real life projects. And I usually say this in all our classes. Our projects are industry projects. So you're going to be working with guys in the industry, and I'm going to share some of their profile with you, people that have worked in the industry. So what we have done is we've taken their experience and we have converted it into learning materials. All right. So the projects you're going to be working on are what I would call learning materials. Okay. All right. So they are industry projects. Take, for example, I've worked in supply chain, I've worked in gaming, I've worked in health tech, I've worked in medical technology, All right. So some of the projects I'm going to show you, I'm going to show you some of the projects. And you see, these are real life projects that has been designed for learning materials. And that's why we have so much success rate within our training program. All right, because you can easily implement some of the projects, and convert it into actual experience. All right. So the internship is an immersive program that will get you started, okay, that will get you started in data science. Okay. Now, like I talked about different career paths for data science, we have data scientists. You can work as a data scientist, a data analyst, a sales analyst, supply chain management analyst, fraud analyst, pricing analyst, market research analyst, logistics analyst. All right. Some of these roles are taking, I've actually worked in this capacity. And even more, product analyst is still there. All right. There are quite a number of other roles. In fact, we actually have a document we provide with our participants on all the roles they can actually apply to during the training program, not even after, during the training program. So you see, there are quite a number of roles that you can actually take on, all right? That cuts across analytics, science, and so on and so forth. So, you don't need to really be searching for data science position. There are quite a number of other roles that you could apply to upon completing the training program. Okay, your learning roadmap. So, like I said, it's 4 months plus. All right. 3 months of project-based life classes, 2 weeks of life capsule project, and 1 month virtual internship. Sorry, this is supposed to be 3 months. All right. So 3 months, 3 months, like I said, it's 3 months plus, 3 months, 3 months of project-based life classes. Okay, 3 months of project-based life classes, 2 weeks capstone project, and 1 month virtual internship. All right. So it's an immersive training program. So you're going to be with us for about 4 months, 4 months plus, okay, where you work with live classes that are project led. Okay. The capstone project is after the training program, you get the capstone project. Now, this capstone project is also a real life project I'm going to show you. Okay. One project you working either individually or as a group. Okay. And you still have 1 month virtual internship where you get to work on more projects working as a data scientist. Now, virtual instructor lecturing program, just like what we are doing at the moment, you have an instructor that would lead you in class, okay? And you're going to be working with people that have hands-on experience in the industry, okay? Now, the classes, all right, these classes are scheduled. We have the morning session and we have the evening session, all right? The morning session is tailored for guys in West Africa, in Europe and West Africa. So it's in West African time. So if you're in London, if you're in the UK, you're in Germany, you're in Ireland, regardless of anywhere you are, okay, the morning session, applies to you. So it's going to be in the morning, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. West African time. 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. West African time. So that is guys in Europe and guys in across different parts of Africa. All right. Now the evening session, all right, is designed for guys in Canada. We're using the Eastern Standard Time. So that's going to be 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Okay. And those are guys in Canada, in the US. So that's going to be in the morning for you, or it's going to be in the evening for the guys in the UK and the guys in Nigeria and the guys in Africa, essentially. So it's going to be 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. for the guys in Africa, okay? But the guys in Canada, the US is going to be Eastern Standard Time, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. All right. Now, join our series of recruitment acts sessions. So, like I said, we'd have different mentorship sessions to get you started. Okay, so we'd have different employability sessions, teach you how to review your CV, teaching you how to apply for jobs, teaching you how to negotiate salaries, teaching you all the things you need to learn in order for you to be the best data scientist out there. All right. So, like I said, morning session, Saturday sessions are morning and evening, while the sessions on Sunday, you have watch me do it videos on Sunday. All right. So watch me do it videos are provided to you to practice better at your own pace. All right. So I will explain it once we finish, I will explain it in the Google Classroom. You understand it a lot better. So you get the watch me video ahead of class. So it prepares you in order for you to work on projects in the live class. So all the live classes are project led. all the live classes you're going to be having from the first class to the end of the class. All classes are project based. You're going to be working on one project or the other. And I'm going to show you the Google Classroom just before we finish the training program. So, like I said, some of the projects you work on, okay, some of the projects you work on. So we have Future Tail, Future Tail Hotel Reservation case study. Now, this is a case study. Like I said, all the projects that you have here that you're going to work on are projects that have been worked on, okay, by an expert, somebody working as a data scientist or a data analyst, okay. We use this experience in the real life examples, in the real life, all right, and we convert it into learning materials, okay. So you see, the first one here is an hotel, okay, an hotel case study, hotel reservation, okay. So you see, let me just read one part. A significant number of hotel reservations are called off due to cancellation or no-show. The typical reasons for cancellations include change of plans, schedule conflicts, etc. So basically, let me explain this particular case study because this is one that I worked on personally, all right, in my own personal experience. All right. So this hotel essentially was suffering from what we call cancellation. Okay. So people book ahead of time because it's cheaper for you to book ahead of time. So people book like months in advance, 2, 3 months in advance. And you find out that, when it comes to the day for them to lodge in, they cancel the reservation. Now, even though they are charged, okay, they are charged 10,000 naira, 20,000 naira for, staying. Maybe they are planning, maybe they booked a week, all right, and they spent maybe 200,000, all right, to book for like a week or a couple of days, okay. Now, they don't mind losing 10,000 naira charge, okay, and they get back 190,000. Or they don't mind even getting charged as high as 20,000 naira as long as they get 180,000 naira, they get their money back. So they're not losing much, okay? The hotel is actually losing more by you canceling, okay? So you might feel like, oh, the hotel is getting more money, all right? You not stay in the hotel room, so yeah, if you cancel, they're making a free 20,000 naira or they're making a good 10,000 naira. All right. But now think about it. That's an opportunity for them to have made 200,000 naira. All right. But now they're just making 10,000 naira. So if nobody actually comes up to show up in that room, they are going to make a loss on that room for that particular day. So the hotel was having so many issues. It was a cause of concern for this particular hotel. So now the key question now is you have been employed as a data scientist to explore the data and provide some insights and recommendation. So this is a real life scenario, okay? And the data is real, everything is real about the case study. How do you prefer your solution or a recommendation or insights to the data set and to the business itself? Now, the next one is Jumbo e-commerce, okay? Some of you, if you read about Jumbo, you probably know the business itself back home in Nigeria, okay? Jumbo e-commerce case study, sales and forecasting analysis. So you see here also real life scenario. As a data scientist, you have been tasked with developing a sales business dashboard that provides a comprehensive regional overview of the company's operations and include sales forecast. So you're going to be doing forecasting, okay, for an e-commerce brand. Okay, these are actual businesses. Like I said, the names have been adjusted. Okay, so if you read, there's a part of the case study where you will tell you more about the business. Okay, so you're not just going to jump straight into a case study. They will tell you about the business before you move into the case study proper. All right. Now we have Danny and Sons Electronics. Okay, so Danny and Sons are facing stifling competition from other electronics retailers in the area, and they need to stay ahead of the curve to maintain their competitive edge. To do this, they want you to spool the necessary data from the database. You see this? This is a real life scenario. All right. They want you to spool the necessary data from the database that will be used to analyze their sales against competitors and provide answers to the following questions. So these are real life case studies you're going to be working on. These are not just makeshift case studies. All right, these are real life case studies. So you can, when a recruiter asks you, tell me about the projects you've worked on. You can easily talk about, oh, I work as a consultant with 10 Analytics, and one of the clients we worked with was Future Teal, Hotel, one of the largest hotel chain company back home in West Africa. All right. And this is what the problem, this was you can talk about the situation, you can talk about the task that you perform, the action and the results, because you would have given your insight and your recommendation to the business. All right, the same thing with Jumbo e-commerce. Okay, I have worked with an e-commerce brand. All right, and what I did for them was to, they were going through, some sales difficulty, and they wanted to use analytics to tell them more about their sales performance and how to actually build sales forecast. All right. Daniel, so have you worked with SQL before? Yes, I have. There's this particular brand, Daniel Sons, also they were facing stifling, competitors within the electronics retailer space. Okay. And what we wanted to do was to answer some critical questions about the business, their sales, and how it relates to their competitors. These are questions these are projects you work on and you can talk confidently with recruiters. Now, that's not all the projects, there's still so more. Okay, you're going to work on so many projects, trust me. All right, we have Solu's online project. Okay, so this one also, the final notebook should be well documented. These are the Python projects, EDA, exploratory data analysis. So the final notebook should be well documented with inline comments explaining the functionality of code and markdown cells containing comments on observation and insight. So these are an exploratory data analysis case study. Okay. So we have, Crusader House. Okay, so you see also there's a problem overview. The managing director of the Homes, Crusader Homes, hired you as a data scientist to develop machine learning models that accurately predict the sales price of property. Okay, so rather than you guessing the price of your property, so is it a two-bedroom apartment? Is it a three-bedroom apartment? If we build this apartment in two bedroom, one bathroom, what is going to be the price of the house? How do you predict this? All right, how do you predict house prices? So this is for an actual business, all right, that we've worked on. So we've converted it into a case study, and you get to work on it, all right, and you can use it as your own personal experience. Sterling e-commerce, another e-commerce brand. You see here, the director of Sterling contacted you and your team of data scientists because they are interested in leveraging the power of their data to get insight into business and improve their efficiency. All right. They want to understand their data so they can optimize their product offering, streamline operations, and enhance Sterling customer experience. So you see, you're going to be working on very, very solid projects. And, so many more. We have, another, retail brand, for another exploratory data analysis project, and is used for customer personality assessment. Okay. So you see here, we would use unsupervised learning techniques like dimensionality reduction, PCA, and clustering to identify groups of customers with similar behavior and characteristics. So you're going to be working on unsupervised machine learning projects, and you can see it here, customer personality analysis. So that's customer segmentation, essentially. So you're going to be working on very, very interesting projects. Another customer segmentation project you work on is customer segmentation using unsupervised learning techniques. The goal of this project is to segment customers based on their purchasing behavior and demographic information. We would use unsupervised learning techniques to identify a group of customers with similar behavior and characteristics. The information can be used to develop targeted marketing campaign, personalized product recommendation, and optimize pricing strategy. Very interesting projects, very relatable projects you're going to be working on. So we have Connector customer churn prediction. This is churn. Churn rate is one of the massive, analysis you perform when you're working in any business. So especially if you're working in e-commerce, you're working with any online that provide online services, churn rate is very important. So people churn basically means people that were subscribed and unsubscribed. Okay, so you want to know the reasons why they are unsubscribing. Why did they leave? All right, why they leave your brand? That's exactly what you've been working on. So you see, the projects are and this is just a few of the projects. That's the funny thing. It's just a few of the projects you will get to work on. All right. So there's still so many more. You still have Excel projects, you have Tableau, you have SQL, you have Python, you have EDA, you have machine learning, you have computer vision. So let me just see. This is some of the computer vision projects. You see them. You see the analytics and detection. You can see how she's dancing. You can see her here. So this is a full-fledged and this is a full body pulse detection project. And you can see everybody has their own, and you can see everybody doing their own projects. Okay. All right. So you see, sorry, I'm moving slightly a bit too fast so that I can show you some of their projects. Okay, so you see everything. This hand detection project, you can see hand detection, face detection. You can see here, this is a face detection project. that this guy is built in computer vision, using computer vision. Face and you see this is a smile detection. So to detect if you're smiling or not. You see it here also, face, eyes, and smile. You see it here, it's detecting the face, detecting the eyes, and you detecting when you smile. Okay. So these are the kind of projects you work on. Projects that you could actually showcase to the potential recruiters. And you can go on LinkedIn. These guys, I took all these things from LinkedIn. So my first hand detection project, the analytics post detection project, and so on and so forth. So these are the kind of projects you will get to work on. Interesting projects that are mind blowing that you will never believe that you could actually do. You will work on these projects. Okay. All right. So, get started. So I've already shown you how you can work as a freelance, okay? Fully remote data scientist and earning dollars. You can work remotely. Some of the sites, I'm going to show you some of the sites as we go on, but some of them are LinkedIn to get remote jobs that we're talking about. These are sites that's, very common, all right? But we still have our own, okay? I usually say this so that you don't know. So we have built in is for startup firms, Glassdoor, Upwork, Indeed. These are places you can actually get remote jobs. Now, some of the facilitators, myself, Ifemena, currently based in the UK, a lot of experience in data science, data analytics, data engineering, and so on and so forth. All right. Toma Ijatomi, all right, also data and senior data associate in analytics, currently works in Ireland. She's based off in Ireland and she's doing well. Deployed it for both oil and gas to real estate organizations across the world. SL Gena, Brahima, senior data associate also with analytics based in Nigeria, 5 years experience deploying data science initiatives to businesses across Africa and Europe. And she's going to be part of the people that are going to be holding your hands, guiding you through the project. Obina is a data scientist with Movo based in Canada. Also, you see, he has been instrumental in technical product support for flagship digital and retail products, generating billions of naira annually and serving millions of customers across one of Africa's largest banking brands. So Ubina is one of the facilitators I'll be working with you. All right. Ibrahim, also machine learning engineer based off in the UK. All right. Data analyst based in Ireland, DPD Ireland. Abdurrahman, also Big Four consultant in one of the Big Four consulting firms in the UK. And Emmanuel Arugulu, lead data and insight analyst with Softcom. So these are some of the people that would be working with you. And there are still so many more, all right, are full of experts that we're going to be working with. All right. So to join our next cohort, all right, it's £400. Okay. £400 or 400,000 naira. Okay, so this is going to be the last cohort of the year. So this is our last cohort for a year. So if you're looking to get started, like I said, I have a special offer for people, all right, that will join the program. Now, if you're looking to join the program, okay, we have early bird discounts for the first 20 people to register. Okay, this is the last, early bird discount we're going to be giving out. So we have the last early bird discount for the last 20 people, for the first 20 people to register for the program starting on the 4th of November, 2023. So it's an immersive training program that will take you end to end on data science, working with statistics to Excel, to Tableau, to SQL, to Python, machine learning, computer vision, and so on and so forth. So it's an immersive curriculum that will take you end to end. Now, this discount is only for the first 20 people to register. Now, if you're going to be paying the discounted fee, so rather than you pay £400, okay, you can actually pay £300, okay, all right, and you can also still pay in 2 installments, £200 for the first installment and £100 for the second installment. And in Naira terms, it is 300,000 Naira, okay, and you can pay in 2 installments of 200,000 and 100,000 Naira. All right, 300 pounds, you can pay in 2 installments. Now, the second installment, like I said, the second installment comes, 1 month, all right, into the program. It comes 1 month into the program. So all you need right now to secure your position in the training program is £200 or 200,000 Naira. All right, so secure a position now. All right, you only have, it's just the first 20 people. So we have 118 people currently on the call. All right. Now we've had multiple sessions in the past, and people are already, people have started making payments already. So please, if you're looking forward to make payments, please click the link, all right, the main stack link on the chat. You see it on the chat, the main stack link, click on it, all right, and it's going to take you to a page, all right, it's going to take you to a page like this, and all you need to do is, if you're paying in Naira, all right, you can see pay stack for all program. So you could click here to make payments, okay? Click here to make payments. So data science, you're looking for what we call the full stack data science program and machine learning. Click on it, all right? So if you want to make full payments or part payments, regardless, it doesn't matter. So if it's part payments, you could add to bank and you could make payment checkout. So you use your bank details to make payments, okay? Now, if you're in another part of the world, okay, and you want to pay, in pounds, okay, so you see here GBP at PayPal, so you can actually pay for all the programs, data science, and all that. So if you're making your first part payment and you want to pay in foreign currency, or you want to pay in pounds, you could actually pay in pounds, okay. So click on Buy Now, okay, click on PayPal, all right, and you could just go ahead to put in your email or create your email, put in your email, and you're good to go. All right. So those are the things you can do. All right. And you could also do a direct transfer to the UK bank account or the Nigerian account details. Okay. So these are the things that you could do. All you need to know is this training program is only, the discount is only applied, it only applies to the first 20 people. It only applies to the first 20 people. All right. Brahima, you said we have somebody that is coming to speak. If you have any question, please, I'll be happy to take your questions. Okay. So we could take our time to answer your questions. Brahima.
All right. Okay, yes, we have Deji. All right, so Deji, can you unmute yourself and speak?
So we brought in our participants that is currently on the program, all right, to speak about their experience, and just you also can ask them questions. Really, you can reach out to them. Deji, do you want to turn on your video so we can get to see you also? All right, thank you very much. I'm going to spotlight you so everyone can get to see you too. All right, Deji.
All right, guys. Femina, good evening.
Hello, Deji.
Good evening. Brahima, good evening, everyone. My name is Deji. Hello, can you hear me? Femina, can you hear me?
Yes, perfectly. I can hear you. Please go ahead.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, my name is Deji. I can hear me. Actually, I came in as a full stack data scientist into analytics sometimes in September. I actually heard about analytics sometime around May this year in 2023. And because I actually wanted to make transition into tech since last year, but because of few engagements here and there, so I couldn't, despite the fact that I've even asked around about how to go about it, but one of those days I actually stumbled over, I think it was Adiza Suleiman Instagram page. Now, when I saw it, I'm like, I've been searching for this because I've actually been trying to, looking for the right avenue for me to key into the data science. So I just said, let me give it a try. And I think sometimes around June, I joined one of the classes, and after listening to Efemina and co, then so I said, let me just give it a try. Let me just give it a try and key into this data science. So, and since then, but because of my program, because presently, even till now, I was actually pursuing a kind of a third degree, and that couldn't give me much time to, to pursue it around that June. So eventually, because I was actually sensitized, and I have that zeal after listening to Ifemena and co, to join the data science. So, and I came for August. But because of engagement, I couldn't proceed. And after 2 weeks, I said, okay, let me just give it a kind of a deferment. And analytics management found it worthy enough for me to make a kind of a deferment. So that was how I joined the September cohort. And since then, it's been a fantastic journey. I have never regretted joining analytics on this journey in transition to tech, because I'm so like somebody who has a background in biology, and despite the fact that I found myself in finance institution presently. So tech has always been, like I said earlier, tech has always been my point of destination, like my desire. But so far so good. Like Mefmina have said so far, you know, since the start of the class, it was honestly, I don't think there's any avenue or there's any platform out there, because for somebody in Nigeria, if you are very close to Computer Village, you know what I'm talking about. We have a lot of platform where you can actually key into tech, but I can tell you that analytics, in fact, fantastic. The classes, the flexibility, the encouragement, and the like. So, and when we started in September, we started just like you highlighted, Ifemina highlighted, started with a foundation, which is the statistics aspect of it. And like somebody who has a science background, I've always been a lover of statistics, and I was able to cope well with it. And since then, we moved from statistics to Excel, to forecasting, to predictive analysis, then data visualization, dashboarding, Tableau, and currently we are moving into Python. We just finished SQL. So, and so far so good. Though it's been a very rough, a very challenging situation for me because of time and a couple of other programs that I'm currently going through at my place of work as well. So, but it's actually worth it. I listen to a feminine speech most of the time, and he used to tell me something. He used to say something that don't look at what you are going through presently. Just look at what you, at the end of the program, what you stand to gain at the end of the program. And whatever we are facing right now, it doesn't really matter, because in a couple of months after, the whole thing, you won't even remember what you have gone through, because it takes a lot of time. So it's really time taking, but it's worth it. Honestly, it's actually worth it, because if you look at the program, the way the program has been going, it's been structured in a way that it's very, very easy for you to understand. If they watch me do it videos, they are very, very practical. They are practical classes. All those what's it called? All the sample, all the data set you use, there are things they are very, very practical to go into, so that by the time you take all those classes, you'll be able to cope with whatever you are doing after the program. So it's been challenging. I have my share of challenge as well, especially the time aspect of it, because it's not really easy to manage that with, especially if you are working in Lagos, this part of country where you work from morning to night, Monday to Saturdays and likes, and
Absolutely.
so yeah, it's but at the end of the day, we know that the whole program is structured in a way that you can actually manage that with whatever time constraint you have, and you'll be able to. It only takes the zeal, the dedication to to be able to cope with it. And it's, I can say, the program is well simplified and well structured, and it's something that is practicable. And I'll advise whoever that is out there that is still contemplating of keen into any program offered by Tenalytics, the time to start is now. The time to start is now. It's now. Honestly, it's now.
Absolutely. All right, thanks a lot. That's Deji. Thanks a lot. Currently from the September quarter of our training program. Thanks for taking out time on a Friday evening to come and speak to potential participants of Tenalytics. So thank you very much, Deji. Really appreciate you. Okay.
You are welcome, Efemina. Thank you very much as well.
All right, thank you. All right, guys. Like they just rightly said, the best time for you is right now. Okay, so this is the last program for this year. So if you're looking to get a head start, you're looking to get that head start for next year, please, this is the best time for you to get started. All right. So if you have any question, I'll be taking questions. Okay. But please, for people that are asking questions about, people are asking questions about how to upload receipts. You've made payments already, and you're looking at how to upload receipt of payment. How do you confirm payment? All right. So once you click on the main stack link, all right, you would see upload your initial and full receipt here. About 3 people have sent me messages now about the receipt of payment. So what you do once you make your payments, come back to that same link. All right, you would see upload your initial and full receipt here. All right, it's the main stack link that has been sent to the chat. Brahma just sent it again. All right, so what you want to do is click on upload your initial and full receipt here. All right, it's going to take you to a form where you can fill the form and make a decision. All right, just fill in the form, put in your information, your email, your first name, last name, so on and so forth, and you can get started from there. So just submit it, and it takes just about 24 hours for us to confirm payments. Then you will receive the welcome key from us. All right. So please make your payments, secure your position now. This discount is only for the first 20 people to register. Only for the first 20 people to register. So if you have a question, please put up your hands and I'll be taking a question. I think I saw a question in the chat. Very much answer that question. My question borders on class timing. Let's say that I pay for the November session and I get busy with work, which makes me to attend a few classes. Would I be opportune to defer the class? Yes, absolutely. Yes, we have rules of engagement in terms of deferment. So you can't stay for like almost 9 or 8 weeks, all right, and say that, oh, I'm busy now, I cannot do it anymore. No, so we have a timeline, all right, that you could actually defer. Okay, so once you are within the threshold of the timeline, you can always defer your training program, and you can defer like twice in order for you to be ready for you, so that you can actually be ready for the training program itself. So yes, definitely you can actually defer your training program. Okay. So Jones, let me take a question. So I would also take some questions in the chat, but I'll be taking questions here and there. Okay.
Yes, thank you so much. I'm speaking all the way from Germany.
Thanks. Oh, fantastic.
Yeah,
Jones.
I was probably yesterday trying to speak, but I have a problem with my microphone. But today,
yes, I remember.
good, I could fix it. Yeah. Yesterday you talked something about trying to check my phone right now because I took a picture. Yeah, you were talking something about data analyst, and you talked something about the key learning areas, problem solving, Excel, SQL, Power BI, Tableau, data storytelling, ChatGPT for analytics, Microsoft Fabric for analytics. So when I check in the job center, the jobs market here in Germany, I say that the requirement for data analysts is it's also required that you learn about the Python program. And I wonder why, because I think I have an interest as a data analyst, why the Python program is not included in the key learning areas. That's number one question. Number two questions, your certificate you issue to the participant, is it recognized in Germany here? Because in Germany, the education system here is very high. And I don't know, because of the language, because here we speak German, Dutch. And how is it like for the for the what they call for the companies here to really do they reorganize 10 analytic certificates, and my third question is if I want to be a participant, how do I make a payment from Germany? Is it like through my bank account, or do I have to just send money to a Nigeria account, like to your Nigeria account, or how is it? How does it work? Because, like for example, if I send money to my parents, I have some different network I used to send money, and it could be delivered to your account with another name, which is not my name. And if it's enough for me to send a screenshot of how I send it, or how does it work? Yeah, those are my questions.
All right. So the first one is Python, the second one is certificates, and the
Yeah.
third one is how to pay. All right. So the
Yes.
first one, let's talk about Python first for the first question, right? So do you know what I'm gonna do? I like using real life examples, okay? So I'm gonna come here and I'm going to look for a job. I'm gonna go to jobs in Germany, okay? And I'm
Okay.
gonna look for data analyst, okay?
Okay.
All right, data analysts, okay?
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, and I'm gonna go for Germany, okay?
Yeah.
All right, so we'll just take a few job roles and let's see if this is attainable, okay? All right. So you see, let's say proven 4 years experience, good knowledge of SQL, okay, and at least one programming language, prefer R or Python. This is
On
just one of
Python.
them. All
Exactly.
right. And
Yeah.
that's why, yes. So for data analytics, and that's why we have the data analytics, we have the data science. So, and that's the beauty of having data science because the data analyst will give you permission to work as majorly BI data analyst and so on. All right, some data analyst position. While the
Okay.
full stack data science will still give you that, upper advantage is more or less like an intermediate and an advanced level training program. So you could do the full stack and still gives you the permission to work as a data analyst. Okay.
Okay.
Now let's take a look at let's say BI consultants and slash reporting, dashboarding, slash all genders. I don't know how they pull that, but you'll see this. Completed studies in business information, very good knowledge of Microsoft BI stack, especially Power BI, okay, which is data analytics, M language and DAX. These are all Power BI tools. All right. So this is purely data analyst. Let's take a look at this particular one again. All right. So this one, curious, 3 years experience, advanced degree in computer communication skills, developing this strong technical BI visualization such as Power BI, Tableau, or open source. So it's either of these ones. So you could actually go to Power BI, Tableau, or that's an option for you, Power
Yeah.
BI or Tableau. So
Yeah.
you're going to be learning these two in the data analytics training program. All right. So you see, it's not most of the, one thing in my own experience here, working and also even working in the industry is majority of these job posts are what we call wish list. Okay. So
Okay.
you see the recruiter puts everything inside. Okay. You see the
Yeah.
recruiter puts literally everything inside. And at the end of everything, you will be assessed on Excel. Microsoft Excel for your interview process, or even on your day-to-day job, you will not even get to use Python. So there's one particular job you see if you go to my profile, you see business systems analyst. Okay. Now that particular global business systems analyst role, okay. Guess what? On the job description, guess what was there? They had Java. They had Java. They had so many technology-driven things that I did not even have. I just applied like every other person. And guess what? I got the job. Okay. So
Yeah.
you see all these things, it's just HR recruiters putting as much information into there. So it's a wish list. If you have it, maybe it's good. Okay. But if you don't have it and you can prove yourself, you are also going to be absolutely fine. Do you understand? So it's not every role. It's not literally, it can't be all the role. It can't be every data analyst role that will require you to have to have Python. All right.
Yeah.
So the data science training program, you can also work as a data analyst. You're going to learn Excel, you're going to learn Tableau, and you're also going to learn Python. The data analyst training program is core data analytics. So you're going to learn Excel, Power BI, Tableau, and SQL. Okay, same thing. You learn SQL for data science also. So you're fine. So that's why we are very detailed with what we're doing. So you know exactly what career path you should take. Or should you take the data science or should you take the data analytics? That's exactly what you can actually do. Now, in terms of certification, where have you seen certificates? This is Germany. All right, these are jobs in Germany currently. where did you see you must have a certificate? That's what I want to see. So you see that majority of these things are experience, where's the certificate that you must have a certificate? So you have a certificate from SQL. What does it mean? What does a certificate from SQL mean? So obviously there are quite a number of certificates from SQL. What did they write there? Good knowledge of SQL and at least one programming language. Good knowledge. So what is the certificate supposed to do for you for this? Because even though you have a PhD in SQL, and I don't have a certificate in SQL, but I have experience using SQL, we are going to be assessed on the same knowledge. We are going to be the two of us will do the same assessment. Let me show you exactly what I mean by assessment. I'm going to go to my GitHub account. All right, this is one project I worked on. Let me just sign in with my. Okay. Okay, so I'm just going to sign into the GitHub account, and I'm going to show you one project I worked on. It's also one of the projects that has been revamped to our learning project. So this is one I went on. Also, I don't have any certificates. I personally don't have any certificates. So you see this particular one, this task would like you to, this for BBC based in the UK. All right, so this is one of the jobs one of the serious jobs I've applied to in the past. This was sometimes I think last year or 2 years ago. Can't remember now. All right. So you see, everybody would get assessed. So you have PhD, you have masters. It doesn't matter. It's experience that matters. So how do you package yourself to get this particular role? So you see this in this task, we would like you to analyze and manipulate data using a programming language of your choice, SQL, R, or Python, and share your insight, and share your findings about BBC iPlayer usage that tells a clear story. So you see, this is the data. They provide you with the data. Oh yeah, go and do your analysis. Okay, do the analysis and tell me exactly what you get from it. All right. So no, but certificates. I think we as Africans are so keen on certificates. It's just something that it's not like you won't get a certificate after the training program. You will get a certificate. All right. But the industry doesn't care about your certificate. It's your experience. What experience can you do? So can you work with data? You say you can work with Python. Okay, this is our own data. This is our personal data. All right, we are going to work with it and give us your insights from the data. From your own experience, you say you've done Python, you know how to use SQL. Given this data set, let's see what you can actually do. And this is my work. All right, this is what we call this. I did what they call an ETL script, extract transform. I did an ETL script. This is my analysis, cleaning the data, working with the data. These are the things you're going to work on. You're also going to learn the same thing. All right. And after that, this is the Python script that would extract the data, transform the data, and load the data into a data warehouse. So basically, this is me performing both data engineering, data science activities. Okay. So, you have to be good. You have to be able to showcase the skills that you have in order for you to get what you're looking for. And this is just my own personal experience. All right. This is a report I did for this particular business. All right. It's an interview. All right. So this is the one I did for this is the task, and this is me showing you my own life experience. So you see, it's not about certificates. Certificate doesn't get you anywhere. It doesn't. I don't have any certificates. My LinkedIn profile is there. You won't see any certificate on my profile. It's a female intro on LinkedIn. Check me out there. You won't see any certificate. So what has made me successful? Well, at least to a very large extent, I've worked for some of the biggest firms in the world. All right. Teleflex to DPD to, DPD is the largest one DPD in Germany is one of the largest in terms of logistics, isn't it? All right.
DPD is big,
they're massive. Okay, they're one of the largest. They're the largest in Europe, actually. I worked with them, worked as a BI developer. Okay, and I was the one that built one of their first forecasts, the one in Ireland. All right, used that same forecast for the one in the UK. Used it for all the parcels coming in from Germany, Netherlands, and so on and so forth. I built a forecast. Okay, don't have a certificate on forecasting. I don't. Or maybe I'll have next week. I don't know, but I don't have a certificate of forecasting till date. Okay, so did I use it? Yes. I deployed it. Yes, I did it. So certificate is not what will get you through the door. It's not. You won't see it. I can look for 1,001 jobs. None of them would ask you for a certificate. Nothing. Your profile, curious and committed, 3 years experience, advanced degree. effective communication skills, experience developing, strong technical skills, experience. Where do you have certificates? It's your experience that gets you. And that's why you see our program is project based. And that's why our program is project based. You're working on industry projects, projects that you could actually use in getting yourself through the door. Right? Those are the things that matter. Okay.
Yep.
Now, the last thing in terms of payments, you're in Germany, you could pay either way. You could actually pay directly to the bank account. Okay. All right.
Yes.
So to the UK bank account. Okay. So you have the UK bank account. You can actually pay directly to it. There's the IBAN there, which is the international banking number. All right. You could actually pay directly to the bank account. Or to make life easy for you, you could always just click on the Pay Start link. Okay. All right. All right. So
Okay.
once you click on the play stack, you'll see it. Elijah just posted it to the chat. It's mainstack.me.enroll. Okay. So once you click on it, you would see GBP pound. You can pay by PayPal. All right. You can pay PayPal. All right. So if you're making full payment or part payment is £200. Full payment is 300. So click on first payment and you see it here, and you can use PayPal to make payments. Okay. Or you could also use Paystack. Okay, you could also use PayPal for Naira payments. If you have Naira and you want to pay Naira, you could also pay Naira. Okay, and yeah, and so on. So you could use PayPal to make payments. Okay, so click on it. Click on Buy Now. Click on PayPal. Okay.
Yeah.
Once you click on PayPal, it's gonna take you to a page. Okay, and you can see Pay with debit or credit card. Once you click on that, you can just put in your checkout as a guest. You don't need to register. You don't need you just put in your email, continue to payment, and so on and so forth. Okay.
All right.
Yes, no problem. All right,
Thank
Jones.
you so much.
Yeah, no, fantastic. Very good questions, I would say. Thank you very much for that. All right. Let me take other questions. So I have Ada here. This is Ada. I have an emergency. Oh, thank you very much. Thanks for All right, so thank you very much. Thank you, Ada. So for people that wait, your gift here for the 4 people I talked about earlier, and I'll go my questions. Okay, I would need you guys to send your Polo details. Okay, your Polo account details. So in Nigeria, we have what we call a piggy bank, a wooden box. Okay, that wooden box. Okay, so I want you to get the account number for that wooden box so I can transfer money to the piggy bank. All right. So if you have if you have your piggy bank or Colo, okay, get the account number to the Colo, okay, and send it. I will send you, just email me your Colo account details, okay, and I will send you your money into the bank accounts. Is that okay, guys? Ada and the rest of the guys, Kichuku and the rest of the guys that won my question. All right, let me take caller Wale to Tawid, okay? Ada, please, I'm looking forward to your account details.
Thank you very much for having me. It's a very big pleasure for me tonight. I've always been enjoying, but unfortunately, I've never had time to see it to the end like I did today. And it's been an informative and a very educative session. I want to confer honorary doctor on you, doctor or professor or whatever highest rank one can ever.
Tawid, I just lost you, Kola Wale. I just lost you, Kola Wale. I'll leave your mic on, but I'll take Faith next. Linda, you can raise up your hand. Okay, Linda, you're next. Don't worry, I'll take you next.
Data scientist. You've made the fight. Thank you for bringing out data scientist. Everything for us. Can you hear me, sir?
Oh, Kola Wale, I can hear you now. Please go ahead.
So thank you. Educative. I put a play up not long ago regarding the number of people that will benefit from the discount. Because personally, I've been singing the crusade, inviting people and promising them that they are most likely going to get the discount to pay 300. Nigeria is very hard right now. We are all going through thick and thin right now at the same time. So is either somebody is just coming from a lot or a lot is happening to somebody right now. So Nigeria is very, very unfriendly at the moment. Please, you can, if possible, consider increasing the number of people that will enjoy the discount. However, me, I have a plant science background. I've been thinking of how to relate all of these to my own field, or if I would just maintain this lane on my own path and see how I can marry the two together. Now, what I did, I don't know if other people can do it, is to look for somebody. I work in a university environment. So I actually employed somebody that I know is good in this to be taking me physically while I still join the online class session. So it's like me combining two front of learning so as to achieve a very good success. And I bet you in the next coming years or months, I will be one of the top ranked Nigerians to join you in doing well in this field. So thank you for making it look simple, and we look forward to becoming a guru very, very soon. Thank you.
Right. Thank you. I think you are such a very, I think yeah, a very good advocate for other people trying to get into the space. We'll try our best to, to see as many people that we can take into the training program. We understand the situation back home in Nigeria, okay? But one thing most people don't really understand just yet is investment in themselves. People don't really understand what investment in themselves is all about. All right. People think that investment is just, oh, I put my money in fixed deposits. I put my money in savings account. I put my money in this. I put my money in that. All right. Now, invest 300,000 in yourself as an individual. Yes. All right. Invest 300,000 naira in yourself. Okay. So I feel it's even if it is sort of if you invest more. Or looking at the economic condition in Nigeria at the moment, for some people, it might slightly be more, all right, slightly be a lot of money, but but investing in yourself is very critical because personally, all right, I've gone on to, I've invested myself, okay, and now when I talk about salary, let me just show you something real quick. So when you say consultants, contractors in the UK, what do they do? Let me just show you quickly. I'm just going to go to a particular site called JobServe, okay? So the training programs I did years ago, okay? I paid for training, I did training, I did online, I did everything, okay? All right. Now, I have learned the skill and I have the skills, okay? Now, I earn significantly more than what I was earning as a management consultant, like I said at the start of the session. All right, so now I'm looking for contract roles here in the UK, okay? Now, you see, this is a senior data scientist. This is 65 to 70,000 pounds. There's a data architect position that is paying what 700 to 760 pounds per day, not per month. 700 to 760 pounds per day. All right. Now we have data protection manager, So let me look for a very just this is all data scientist, data architect, data engineering, so on and so forth. So let me just look for something slightly, so for people that are just getting started, I would rather use data analyst. All right, so you could actually get roles as data analyst, and you see what you could actually earn. So imagine you investing 300 pounds in yourself, and you go on to be earning significantly higher than any other person, significantly higher than what you're earning at the moment. That's you investing in yourself. So currently you're on. There's a guy that got a job just a few months ago, I'd say. All right, in Nigeria, this guy was on 200K plus or thereabouts. It was about 200,000 naira. Okay, that was earning 240 or thereabouts. All right, went through the data science training program. Currently works with as a data analyst with one of the top insurance firms. I think I've said this several times. This guy got a job just a few months ago, and guess what? The salary was over 700,000 naira. So imagine if this guy did not invest in himself. All right, he's just earning his 240,000 naira and he's saving probably 40,000 or 100,000 naira every month, and he feels like he's saving money. All right, now this guy has increased his own personal thing, like his own personal capacity to even save more to over 700,000 naira. Now, just take, for example, he never took the chance to even learn a skill, to learn data analytics. He continues working as an administrator. He was working as an administrator with one of the NGOs, one certification board in Nigeria. So the likes of CIPM and all that. That's what it was doing, earning 240,000. And then went through the data science training program with analytics, got a job as a data analyst. This guy's earning almost 700K in Nigeria. I think, for example, like I said, I'll say it over again. He did not take the opportunity to learn. Okay. Oh, I'm earning 240 is too much for me. Okay, let me just, it's too much. That opportunity will never come for him. It won't be any 700,000 naira now. It will still be any 240. Maybe he got a promotion, he gets to 300. All right. But 300 to 700, that's 400,000 naira difference every single month. All right. So people really don't understand the concept of invest in yourself. And you see, quite a number of jobs you will get in, I don't know, even in the UK, jobs are immersed for you. All right. There are a lot for you. All right. So we're going to go with data scientists again. All right. But like I said, you have quite a number of jobs you could actually go into. All right. Data scientists 50 to 70, data scientists 35 to 48, data scientists 90,000, data scientists 70 to 80, data scientists 20 to 60, data scientists 45 to 50. Jobs are there. Data scientists 340 to 485 per day, not per month. All right. So you're investing £300 in yourself for the ability for you to earn this per day. It's not commensurate. That's why we just want to get people interested. Okay, get you interested, learn it, and make. Nobody's asking you to come and pay another money once you get a job. No, once it's just for you to learn. All right, we'll teach you all the employability, all the things you need to learn in order for you to get a job. You get a job, you're making more money yourself. Do you think the guy that got a job in Nigeria, 700,000, will come back to start saying, "Oh, I need you to, or we need you to pay more money"? No, the guy has forgotten, has even done the training program. It's the interesting thing. He has forgotten. He invested 300,000 in a training program somewhere and he's earning 700,000. All right. So those are the things people really don't understand. Okay, invest in yourself. Fancies on yourself. You can actually earn more than you're earning at the moment. How much are you earning at the moment? In the next 7 months, would you be earning differently if you don't invest in yourself? No, you won't. You likely not. You apply for a new job, you probably get a bump of 70,000, 100,000 there, and so on and so forth. Or even in the UK, all right, what job are you doing at the moment? Or in the US or in wherever region you are, ask yourself, be honest with yourself. What is your probability? What is your propensity to earn higher? That's the question you need to be honest with yourself. The moment you know how to answer that question, you likely know exactly what I'm talking about. All right. So let me see contracts. All right. All right. You say you get more contract position. This is chatbot project, £550 per day. These are projects that you're getting per day. And you can do the same thing, data analyst. All right. It's not just data scientist. You can work as a business systems analyst like myself. You can work in different roles. This is data analyst outside I-35, £400 per day, 400 to 450, 250 to 300, 4,500. This is 45,000. And these are all fixed term contracts. And then we use 400 to 450. So when people say that this training program it's the cheap, I won't say it's the cheapest, but it's the most affordable in the industry. Okay, if you're looking to do anything, and it's even the most detailed, the most properly arranged a curriculum in terms of curriculum and so on. So it's you investing in yourself and you believing that you could actually achieve something great with yourself. So let me show you my profile again. I like to show you my profile. Okay, all right. So you see exactly where I'm coming from. I'm not, I started just the same way every other person would have started. Okay. Just going to zoom in a bit. So this is my LinkedIn profile. You can check me out on LinkedIn. All right. I do a little bit of writing and all that. So this is me here. All right. So see me here. All right. Management consultant. Okay. So I was just doing management consulting in Nigeria. I did strategy consulting and so on and so forth. But I never felt like I was going to do this. I never felt I was going to be in tech. All right. I was an intern from 1 year intern to management consulting, and thereafter, I got a job with DPD, like I told the other guy. Okay. All right. So from there, logistics operations to BI analyst, business intelligence analyst, and from there, started working with startup. I did a particular project. Okay. I posted on LinkedIn, and that's how I got one of the contracts. That's my data scientist. And on this project, that's why I started working with computer vision and deploying the computer vision and so on. Worked with Teleflex, and there's some other contract position I've done in the UK that I don't even need to put them on my CV. Don't put them because it's just 3 months contract, 4 months contract. Why do they have to be on my and paying significantly more than what I am doing working full time for any organization? And that's why I went fully into contract, 6 months contract, 6 months contract, here and there. Do I think about what I'd invested in myself years ago? I'm reaping the benefits now. So those are the things you need to have. You need to tell yourself. Okay. So in terms of you investing in yourself, you have a lot in terms of investing in yourself. So, anyways, Faith, I'm going to take your question now. Sorry, I think I.
At last,
Sorry
I've been
about that.
waiting. I've been waiting for so long.
Yeah, apologies.
I think everyone on this call deserves a round of applause that we are even here up till now. I don't know what can keep me on a call for over 3 hours, if not because I'm interested.
Oh,
Well, I've been following you and this page for over a year, and I can't even believe that I've not even enrolled, but here I am. I'm still here, and I'm very, very interested. And this time, I don't want to call it desperate, but I'm close to being desperate. My question is the order in which the course is going to be delivered? Because right now, I need Python, SQL, and machine learning. So I don't know, do you tweak the order or it has to follow that order strictly? That's number one.
sorry.
Then
So
number
what's
two,
the order? Sorry, what's the order you're going through?
the order of you delivering the course. I think you started with, was it statistics,
Yes.
Excel, So I want to know if you have to strictly follow that order, because what I need right now is Python. I mean, every element in the full data stack is very, very important. But to me now, I don't know if you have a tailored one. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. I need
I do.
Python, SQL, and machine learning. I would prefer, that's my own preference now. I would prefer if those ones come first. Do you understand? So that's my question. Do you have like tailored courses or whatever in the arrangement of how you deliver the courses? Then number two question is, I didn't hear anything about R. Do you take courses on R? Do you teach R? I think those are my two major questions.
All right. Okay. Okay. In terms of order, okay, that's the order we go through. We actually don't do anything. We don't do it, in batches. Okay. So we have just an order. So everybody starts the class. We carry everybody through that particular order. So I'm just going to show you the classroom so you see exactly where we are going through. So you see exactly what I'm talking about. So we have the most recent one, the ones that started in October. All right. So this is the Europe class. You'll see the EU. Okay. So I'm going to show you the class so you understand it a lot better. So we have everybody going at the same pace. Okay. So like I said, you get to watch me do videos on a Sunday. Okay. So these videos provide you with guidelines. Okay. There are certain things we don't need to be doing in a live class, like telling you what the course structure is, what is data. Those things can come in, pre-recorded videos, bite-sized, self-explanatory videos that will explain all this concept and convention to you. All right. So there's an order that we go through, and this is the order we're going through. So introduction, visualization, visualize the empirical data, visualize the numerical data, so all that extra videos on how to use cell phone meetings and all that. Okay. Thereafter, you now get what we call, the live class. Okay. So you have a live class. You will start with all these things you learned in record, watch me do videos. You now implement in a live class. Now let's take a look at the project. right? And like I said, all the classes are project-based. So this is an hospital emergency room. Like I said, the one I showed you today in class is not the same one I'm showing you in this particular class. All right, so you have different projects you will get to work on. Now, looking at this particular, hospital emergency room, okay, problem statement, problem analysis, analyze and gain valuable insights from the hospital patient record data set. The data set contains various attributes related to patient demographics, medical information, and experience within the hospital. All right. The goal of the analysis is to understand the patient characteristics, identify pattern, assess the quality of service, and provide quality of services provided by the hospital. So these are the objectives that you need to go through. So all these things you learned, how to use Excel, visualize, how do you visualize categorical data, visualize numerical data. You need to be able to do that in an actual real life case study. So looking at the data sets, I'm just going to give you a tip of the data set. This is the data set. So how do you analyze this data using Microsoft Excel? So it's step by step. There is no, oh, I just want Python and SQL. Most people that actually come in with that particular mindset, they start to see that, oh, thank God I did not skip this. Thank God I did not go through. I feel like I knew Excel. Oh, I feel like I don't need Power BI. I feel like I don't need Tableau. All right. So you see, you keep skipping those things, and when you go through this particular, curriculum, you see that you actually gain a lot more from the curriculum itself. So trust me, there's a reason why we have that order. And you are going to, when you go through that order, you will appreciate the order that we're going through. Because you would, if you just jump to one aspect, you will likely get lost because everything is tailored together. All right, it's like a dominoes. Everything is linking into one another. From case study to case study to videos, everything is linked to one another. So you see, you have a lot of what do you call it, projects you're going to work on. So I don't know if I answered your question, Vince. That's the first one. So for the second one, I just want to keep you on mute so we can have a conversation. For R, you don't need R. Majority of the places you are likely going to be applied for jobs will be using Python. So it's majorly going to be Python and maybe R. In some very rare cases, you will see R, but majorly Python. And that's because Python is open source and you can implement in any environment. Okay. And we talked about IDEs, you can implement it in different environment. R is R Studio, what I call it. It's just R Studio that you could actually use. I'm not sure if we use it on any platform. I don't really use R, I've always used Python. And all the jobs I've worked with are always been Python. Do you understand? So yeah, and the industry is more acceptable to Python than R. Okay, so that's one thing. Unless you want to, even if you're working in academia, okay, it's only going to become some kind of professor or statistician within the school environment. Maybe you would learn how, okay, but in the industry, all right, Python was acceptable in the industry or generally acceptable in the industry. All right, does that make sense?
Yes, but sorry, Effie. Do you have like a single course on Python alone, for example? Yeah.
So you just want to take Python alone? Correct?
Yeah. What if I just want Python alone?
Is there a reason why you just want Python alone?
Because I really need it right now. Okay. So if I can really get something that would put me through Python, okay, because I'm struggling with Python and I need somebody like you that will put me through. Yeah.
Okay. I think that's something we could work around. We can make something. We can work something out. So what I would think you could do is, are you on the group chat? Are you on the WhatsApp group chat?
I've been on the WhatsApp for over a year. I sent you messages maybe last month. You're too busy. You're a big man. You didn't
No. It depends on the number they provided.
So I can buzz you on WhatsApp. I think it was an automated message that came back to me or something.
Okay, just send a message to me now. I'll take a look at it. Then we can
okay.
No problem.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Faith. Thank you very much. Linda, let me ask you to unmute yourself so we can have a conversation. Linda, go ahead.
Hi.
Hi, Linda.
Can you hear me?
perfectly, Linda.
Yeah. Evening.
Good evening.
Okay. First of all, I'd like to say thank you for this section. It was interesting.
I enjoyed myself too. Thanks a lot for taking
Okay.
this.
Okay, my question is, this is my first time of, I have a background in economics. Then also I have not been practicing with that. I've been into fashion for a very long time. So my question is, what is the difference between the data analytics? Is it data analytics and data science? Yes, data analysis and data science. Because from what I have researched, I think the other one is there's coding involving the data science, more of coding. And I don't know if it's something I can. What do you recommend?
Okay. Okay. Data science, data analytics. Okay. I'll do it quickly in maybe 2 minutes. You can stay mute or muted so we can have a conversation so that you can understand also. All right. So let me just get a pen. Okay. So I'll explain it better. Okay. So first of all, there's something we call spectrum of analytics. There are 4 types: 1, 2, 3, and 4. All right.
Yeah.
So first, I'm going to focus on these 3. Okay. I'm going to focus on the 3 types of analytics, just these 3. So the first one is descriptive analytics. Okay. Descriptive. All right. The next one is diagnostic analytics. And the third one is predictive. I'll just use predictive. All right. So descriptive analytics, if I ask you now, okay, you say you're in fashion, correct? Okay, so let's use fashion for this example. Okay. So now in, let's say, January this year, okay, the last 3 months, okay, the first 3 months of this year, what was your sales? All right, that's descriptive analytics. I would ask you, can you do a trend of your sales January to February? Okay, so in January, what did you earn in January in terms of revenue? Okay, you made, let's say, 2.5 million. Okay, you did 2.5 million in January. So in January, you did 2.5 million. In February, you did more in February, all right, because you have more customers and everything. You did another what? Let's say 3.5 million. Now, in March, okay, you now did what? 10 million in March. Okay, all right. You did 10 million in March. All right. Now, are you not going to? Is that not, so? This is what you just did. This is descriptive analytics. So you describing an event that happened. What happened? So when you say you're doing descriptive analytics, you are doing what? Finding out what happened. Okay. What? Okay. Can you hear me very well, Linda? Just confirm, please.
Yes, it's loud now.
Okay, it wasn't loud before.
Yes.
Okay, sorry about that. I moved my microphone to the side a little. All right, so January you did 2.5 million, February you did 3.5 million, and in March you did 10 million. So what you just did, you just answered the first question, descriptive analytics. So you are doing what? You are describing what happened. You are describing, when you say descriptive analytics, you are describing what happened. All right?
Yeah.
Now, you did 2.5 million in January, you did 3.5 million in February, and you did 10 million in March. All right? So January and February, when you even combine the two of them together, it's not even up to 10 million naira. Do you understand? So the key question now, the CEO, would you not be inquisitive to find out what happened in March? I need to figure out what happened in March because the January and February I made 2.5 million. February I made 3.5 million. And in March I'm making 10 million. I need to diagnose what happened. I need to diagnose, that's when you now start to do diagnostic analytics. Why did I make 10 million in March? Please help me. I need to find out the reasons why I made 10 million in March, why the business made 10 million in March. So that if I know what happened in March, I will start to cascade it to other programs. Okay, I'll cascade it to other months. So did you sell, did an influencer wear your clothes? Was it Ilebaye, is it the girl that won Big Brother? Or was it, or Tiwa Savage wore your clothes? All right. Is that the reason why, maybe an influencer wore your clothes, or you did a particular marketing campaign, or you did a particular design that gained so much traction? That's the reason that you got this exponential increase, right?
Yeah.
You need to know the reasons why. Because if you know the reasons why that happened, you can start implementing next month and the month after that. And you can use it to increase from 10 million to 20 million to 30 million to 40 million and so on and so forth. So that's descriptive analytics and diagnostic analytics. Descriptive, what happened? Diagnostic, why did that particular thing happen? All right. Now, the next one is predictive analytics. From April, from April, all right, from April all the way to December, what will be our revenue? You want to predict now. We did 2.5 in January, 3.5 in February, 2.5 in January, 3.5 in February, and 10 million in March. So what will be our revenue from April to December? You don't know. But you don't know. All right, you only know from January to February, but you want to predict what will happen from April to December. So that's what we call predictive analytics. Okay. So now you see this first two. You see this first two. You see this first two over here. This is where the data analyst, DA. This is where the data analyst will play. Descriptive and diagnostic. That's where the data analyst will call it a day. So when they describe and they diagnose, that's the end of it for them. They don't go beyond that. Okay? All right?
Yeah.
They don't, okay? So that's what they do. And that's why you see a lot of dashboards. You go on, you go on LinkedIn and you see all this dashboard. Let me just show you some of our participants' dashboard. Okay. All right. So you see all this dashboard. All right. You see the dashboard. Let me just show you one. All this dashboard. The dashboards are answering questions around what happened, all right, and why that particular thing happened. So these are data analysts building dashboards. Okay, all right. And that's why I think from the data science program, you can still work as a data analyst because you will learn it. All right.
Yeah.
So, moving on from there, the key thing now that separates the two roles, okay, is the third analytics, which is predictive analytics. So it's the data science because of the programming language like Python and other statistical concepts. Okay, we give the data science, the data scientist, the ability to predict what would happen from April to December. So you see this prediction is the key work of a data scientist. You being able to extrapolate, being able to forecast, you being able to go into the future to tell you that this is likely what will happen if we continue on this trend. All right. Okay.
Yeah.
This is what will happen. So data analyst, descriptive and diagnostic analytics. All right. The data scientist would do all three of them. We'll do one, we'll do two, and also we'll do three. So the data scientist will do what? Descriptive analytics, diagnose, and also predict what would happen. I don't know if that makes sense to you. Okay.
It does. I think my challenge is the coding thing. Even though the one you did today was, I understood it, but I don't know if it's going to be more complicated going forward. So that's my concern.
All right. So don't worry. It's a concern for everybody looking to getting started in data science. Okay. And that's the reason why we have, a very, very detailed curriculum, and not just curriculum, but we have very good support. So let me show you something on the materials, okay? On the material, you see for coding, where have you gone to? You see it here, all right? So I'm going to go to a class that has Python, okay? That they've started working on Python. These are still earlier classes. I'm going to go to the one in August. All right, so they're currently on exploratory data analysis. Okay, so I'm going to walk you through Python live class. Okay, Python. So this is a Python class. This is your first class. All right, so they have what we call watch me do videos. Okay, so you have everything in details, like what we did today. Okay,
Yeah.
this is integer and float. What we did today, integer and float. So at your own pace, this is called a watch me do it video. Watch me do it. So the way you're watching me, all right, you're also practicing. The way I'm practicing, the way I'm explaining to you, you are also practicing. The same here on the top right corner. All right. The way I'm practicing, you are also practicing. So you see, moving on, let me just move inside a bit more. All right. So I'm explaining data types, and you see it here. I'm explaining it. Integer or int or integer is a whole number, positive or negative, without decimals, of unlimited length. Exactly what we did today. All right, using the type function, but obviously this is a bit more detailed. Okay, doing the calculations, or basically you using examples that you can relate with, speaking in clear terms on how you can actually use this thing in real life. All right. So those are the things that you're going to be working with. Okay. Those are, you would have that. You would have all these videos. Okay. You would have all these videos for you to practice more, for you to work more. But then the good thing is you still take a live class. It doesn't mean that you watch this video, that's the end. You will now have a live class. Okay. Python live class 1 to work on specific projects. Okay. So to assess your knowledge, so you have an instructor in class that would, that will guide you and ask you more questions or drill you more on those things that you've seen. Those Python, you've seen all those Pythons, you've practiced, you've done assessments and all that. But now you now have another set of videos. You now have a live class that will now assess you a lot more, or even drill you more, give you more knowledge, more explanation. So you have an expert that will still hold you in class. And the good thing also is the sessions are recorded, so you can always go back to revisit the recording. All right. So all the sessions are recorded. You have an assignment for you to work on. Okay. You're graded on your assignment. So you have a community. You see, you have a community of people, right? So it's not just one facilitator. You see your teachers, Ibrahim, Ibiza, Brahima, Ibidium, Ifemena, Jedediah, Oluwadamilola. These are people that will hold your hand. So at any point where you feel like you are going down or you don't understand, you have a pool of resources, you have a pool of experts that can always hold you on. All right. So those are the things that we have put together. So you are never going to be left alone. That's one thing you should have at the back of your mind. You can't say, oh, I'm not understanding this. We run to you. It's like the white blood cell in your body. All right. So whenever you have a cut, what happens? The white blood cells will run there to try to see how they can help. So once you cry out, okay, or once you just say that, oh, this particular thing I don't understand. How do I do this? All right. Everything will be explained to you. So these are the things, we have put together to ensure that you have an immersive learning curriculum, I would say. All right. So you see, every class is like that. You have watch me do it. So you see, they have a live class on exploratory data analysis. This is Python. All right. You see, they've gotten they've gotten a case study on EDA. Now, this EDA, like I said, is a real life case study. Every project you're working on is real life case study. Now, let's take a look at this EDA project. This is June, okay? All right. So you see me here again. June is a reputable global retailer offering a diverse selection of products, including accessory, clothing, and phones, blah, 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 exploratory data analysis. And these are the things that we're going to be working on in this particular project. Oh, it's not meant to close that one. So you see, it's immersive, and I could go on and on, but one thing you should know at the back of your mind is the whole essence for us is for you to learn it. Okay, so we are like we are evangelists of you learning. So we're going to get your hand, hold your hands, and guide you through your learning journey. So you're going to be fine, 100%. All right.
Okay. Yeah, because I actually signed. I thought it was data analytics. I can't even pronounce this
Data
properly.
analytics, don't worry. It's fine.
I actually thought it was that. Only for me to see data science, I was like, okay, let me see.
Okay.
I wanted
All
to
right. You can.
actually wanted to log out and like, okay, let me just watch and see what this is all about. And it was interesting. So hopefully
Okay.
sign up.
All right.
But
Thank you,
that'll be
Linda.
January.
January. Okay.
January, yes.
Okay, that's fine. That's okay. We would have the next program is going to be in January, so you could always register in January also. That's fine. That's absolutely okay.
Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you very much. Appreciate it big time. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Anyways, this is where So let me just reiterate one last time before we call it a day. Brahima, just to confirm if you can hear me well again. I'm not sure what the audio issue.
All right, I can hear you clearly.
Clearly, okay, thank you. All right, so just to reiterate, the class is starting on the 4th of November, 2023. All right, 4th of November, 2023. This is the last program for the year. So if you're looking to get in an head start for 2024, this is the best time for you to get started. This program is immersive. I've talked about the project you're going to work on. I've talked about the immense support you're going to receive from experts within the industry. All right, I've talked about all the things that we're going to do in terms of CV review, LinkedIn optimization, and all the support you're going to get end to end. All right, so if you're looking to get it started, please register now. Click the link, all right, main stack link, make your payment, register your payment. All right, for people still sending me DMs asking about how to register your payment once you make payment, please click on the main stack link and you would see where you need to register. All right, where you need to upload your proof of payment. So once you click on the link, all right, just give me a second. I don't know why this is taking it. Okay, once you click on the link, all right, you'll see here, upload your initial and full receipt here. Upload your initial and full receipt here. So once you make payment, please click on this and register and take a screenshot of your payment and upload it. Just click here to upload. That's all you need to do. All right, so please do that, please do that ASAP. Okay, so we can actually get back to you as soon as possible. So I think just this evening I've received about 8 people sending me messages telling me about 8 of them. Let me just yeah, about 8 people, yeah. So, we have limited slots available for you to get started. So if you're looking to get started, be part of the first 20 people to register and we can get started. Okay, so we have quite a number of success rates. Our achievement in 2022 was one of the things that propelled us to do more this year. All right, and last year we did over 300 people. People had no experience, people that were bakers initially. All right, I've given stories about bakers that never even had any working experience before. All right, and she currently works as a data scientist within the NHS. And I'm going to share some of their profile with you. You see them, and you can actually send them messages on LinkedIn, and that's the reason why we have their names in there. So you see, we got featured, because of some of the great things we did last year. The analytics helps Africans across 4 continents land tech jobs. That's the US, the UK, Europe, America, Africa, and even in Asia. We had people joining from Malaysia, people joining from China, and so on. So Africans are everywhere, and we helped them land tech jobs across 4 continents essentially. All right. So you see also PR Fire is actually based in Europe, and we also got featured in the PR Fire. You could also Google them. All right. And you can see it's analytics to reiterate commitment to help Africans get tech jobs in Europe. So you see these are the things that we did and we're still doing to get more Africans aware that you don't need so much to get started. All you need to do is register for our program and hold you, all right, and guide you through the process of you getting your first job. All right, so we got featured on Tech Cabal also. All right, so we are a proponent for women in tech. Okay, we also wanted to get more because of the International Women's Day, to commemorate the International Women's Day. We, brought in a scholarship program for 300 women across the world. Okay, and because of that single initiative, we also got featured on Tech Cabal. All right. So also, we deal with the best of the best within the industry. All right. And you see, we held our first data analytics hackathon this year. And you see the people that we had on board. We had Michelle Conway. She's currently the lead data scientist with Lloyd Bank in the UK. Sadiq Akintona works with Google, Smart Analytics Customer Engineer with Google. Sebastian is an AI and ethics researcher with Cambridge University in the UK. Olamide Jola-Osho is currently the head of data and insights with Wema Bank in Nigeria. So you see the kind of caliber of people that we have at our beck and call to work with you in getting started in the tech space. We have quite a number of people. All right. So part 1 testimonial, like I said, you can see it will be saying what sending a message to one of our facilitators. My new role all right, is data scientist, first proper job in the UK after analytics training. So you see quite a number of people. Ubong also currently works in Cognizant, working as a full stack data scientist. After going through the full stack data science program, works currently, got numerous interview opportunities with PwC, HSBC, and so on, and eventually landed the one with Cognizant. All right. Idris Adebisi went through the full stack data science program, currently works as a data engineer with Jaguar Land Rover. Okay. And these guys, their names are there for a reason, for you to send them messages, okay, to ask them questions, how we do with the transition and so on. Olale Kombakare Ismail Yakub Adroshi currently works with a firm in the US and currently resides in Nigeria. He was on a call with us yesterday, during the participants sharing giving session, fireside chat. So you see, we have quite a number of testimonials, and we are always happy to share it every time because we have sort of the materials to work, and we take it very seriously. All right, guys, thank you very much. Rosemary, I don't know if you have any question. I can see your hand is up. I'm just gonna take you then call it a day, guys. Rosemary, I'm gonna ask you to. Okay, yes, go ahead.
Hello.
Please.
Okay, I'm here. I'm here, Rosemary. Okay, thank you so much. Please, I just have a question right now. Okay, I have migrated into tech. I started with AWS. Right now I'm AWS satisfied, but I want to know if you offer cybersecurity because I didn't really see that on the platform.
Not yet. We don't do cybersecurity just yet. All right. So we're currently currently doing our analysis, our job post analysis. Okay. And we're looking at how we can actually do more next year to get more people into different tech space. All right. So, maybe next year we'll be looking at doing something within cybersecurity, but yet we don't have any curriculum on cybersecurity. Is that okay with you?
Okay, no problem. Thank
All
you.
right. Yeah, no problem. All right. But we have a data engineering training program that covers AWS, cloud computing, data engineering, cloud engineering, and so on. So if you're interested in that also, we should have a masterclass tomorrow for you to walk you through data engineering project and real life data engineering projects. Okay.
Okay,
All
so
right.
you feel the best course to do from AWS is data engineering?
Absolutely. 1,001. I don't even need to even hide it back. Okay, it's data engineering because all right, you have AWS. Okay, you have experience working with AWS. All you need now is just the data engineering skills, which is majorly Python and SQL. All right, don't worry, we have a session tomorrow by 8 o'clock tomorrow. All you need to do is just attend the session. You would see exactly what I'm talking about. Okay, all right.
Okay, thank you so
So,
much.
yeah, no problem, no problem. So data engineering all the way for you. Thanks. All right, guys. Thank you very much. Just to let you know, please, even okay. Adigbola, man, I'm really impressed with so far with analytics. I'm humbly to request. All right, Adigbola, please go ahead. Okay. I'll take it down your name because I'm just about to wrap up. It's a little late. Okay. I don't want it to extend past this time. So please, do that. Okay. And just when you do that, I will take note of it. Okay. Okay, so at the end, but one thing you should know is you need to balance up the rest at the end of the month. But I will definitely be in contact, or somebody will be in contact with you. Okay, so Adebola, please go ahead and we can take it up from there. Thank you very much. All right, guys, thank you very much. Thanks for staying to this particular time. Somebody's asking for the what do you call it, for the gift. That's I think Ikechuku. All right. Ikechuku, send your Kolo account details to us. Okay, to me personally. You can check me out on LinkedIn. Send me your Kolo account details. So get your account number for your piggy bank. You know what a piggy bank is? A Kolo. All right. What some people call it piggy bank. In Nigeria, we call it Kolo. Yoruba people call it Kolo. Those wooden boxes that you stuff money into. All right. I want the account number to that wooden box. Okay. Not your piggy bank. I don't care if you're using piggy vest or whatever it is. All right. It's a piggy bank. Okay. Account I'm looking for. So it's Kolo account. So if you can get an account, then you're fine. Like we can work together. All right. So thank you guys very much. Appreciate you staying to this very, I know it's late already. Thanks for staying this late. Thank you very much and have a wonderful evening, guys. Cheers, everyone, and bye, everyone. Bye, bye, bye. I know all of you want to unmute yourself, so I'll give you permission to unmute yourself. Okay, so let me just do that in 2 seconds. Okay. I usually like to hear all of you. Bye, everyone. You can unmute yourself now. Bye. Have a wonderful evening.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Bye. That was a marathon.
It is 100%. All right. Cheers, guys. Bye.
Bye.
Yeah. Thank you. Good night.
All right. Another time. It was a lovely session.
Get it.
Bye.